Hi everybody, welcome back to Tales from Tuatha. Everyone, the whole gang is here. If you guys want to say something, we can go around the table.
Hello.
Hello.
Ready for D&D.
Cora here.
Cheers.
This is session 15 of Tales from Tuatha. None of them have names until we actually do things in them. So, let's start with the recap. We'll recap last session. Our heroes, having defeated ogres who attacked a Lothurian caravan, decided to play it safe and rest for the night. During that rest, the Ohava crashed their camp. Their Brintah, or chief, Diarmad Sharpwhistle, thanked the party for recovering 2 of their people, even though one was deceased. Diarmad left Haldar to guide our heroes to the location of the Yuma, or giants. In the morning, they were led to a cave in the most northeastern portion of the Holdstaff Mountains. Exploring the cave, they found the remains of a small camp and evidence of a human entering and exiting that camp, a grove of lumenshrooms flush with crimbobeetles, and a gaggle of hill giants with a single stone giant. A great battle ensued, and the giants fell to the onslaught of our mighty heroes, though the stone giant escaped. Our heroes then continued their trip to Brimshire and arrive with night creeping behind them. What will they discover of the evil that corrupted Denfer Brisbane, the man obsessed with gold, in his hometown of Brimshire? We will find out right now. So, as you enter Brimshire, the dim lantern light of the streets and houses of Brimshire is framed by the mountains above and the cracked earth below. Approaching the first buildings on the precipice of town, boisterous laughter and hearty cheers can be heard. The foreign smells of dust and ash wash over you as you pass people in simple canvas and cloth clothing, headed home, some stumbling a bit. A man stops when he sees you and stares at Trogdor for some time before shaking his head and continuing his journey. Most passerbys pay notice, though none seem offended by your presence. "Welcome to Brimshire, right on the edge of hell," shouts a local. "Welcome,
Hello.
Indeed." And you shout back.
Another blimey gentleman trying to get our attention. I'll go ahead, Nerida. You have gotten his attention.
He was just kind of passing by and shouted at you.
Okay.
I mean, I take it we're looking for lodging for the evening. Party members? What time of day is it?
It is very close to night. It is maybe like 9 p.m. or so.
Then I suggest we try to find a local tavern, inn, hotel.
Yeah, if we can't find a place to stay, at least let's find a bar.
Sounds good.
Agreed.
Is there anyone around?
There are all sorts of people sort of milling about on the streets. Again, most of them in sort of sack clothes.
I'll stop someone that seems friendly enough.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry
Hello.
to bother you, sir. I was wondering where the nearest tavern or inn is in this town.
Oh, well, you got your choices of pubs, for sure. There's the Big Barrel, if you're in for the rowdy stuff, and the Blasting Hole. If you want something a little more sedate, we got Vagrant at Sea. Bit of a sleepy place, but, you know,
Who's got the
it's
best
good to
ham
relax.
shank?
That'd be Jiroshi's. Jiroshi's Stonebreak. Very nice tavern towards the center of town. Wonderful ham shank there.
And they have lodgings as well?
Ah, yes, the taverns have lodgings.
Okay.
Only a couple of rooms. Don't get too many outsiders here. What's that then? And he's like gesturing towards Trogdor.
Oh, he's just my pet. Don't mind him.
Trogdor's been very hesitant this whole time, just kind of hiding near Thea. Oh, well, It's a strange pet.
Oh, he's harmless, mostly. Just stay away from the stinger.
Ah, I see.
Well, anyway, thank you for your recommendations. Hope you have a good evening, sir.
Yeah, you too. He sort of stumbles off a bit. Fucking dragons. I never thought I'd see it.
Well, it sounds like Joe Sashi's was the winner, unless other people have a vote.
Well, Trogdor likes a good ham-shank, so I'll second that choice.
Well, I was leaning towards the. So now I can't remember what the name of it was. So yeah, might as well go there.
We can always visit on another night if we're still here.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess I'll leave people in the direction he told me, whichever direction that was.
Alright. You head sort of, it's if we look at the map here, there's this long road leading from this area where the road turns in and narrows a bit towards the center of Brimshire. Again, the smell of dust and ash and a slight sort of acrid smell as well, a little bitter, catches your nose as you meander down the streets towards the center of town. Right at this first crossroads here, you find a large building, wood with, a large stone foundation. The lights are on. There's sort of a bustle inside. It says, there's a large sign that says Jirashi's. It says Jirashi's Stone Break.
Well, here we are, I guess. I'll head inside.
Breaching the threshold of the tavern, boisterous conversation, broken occasionally by cheers, is layered on top of a gentle minstrel ballad. The tantalizing smell of lamb chops, cheese, and spiced, hearty tubers and vegetables invigorates you after your long journey. But you see very few tables have food. Many of the patrons are clad in simple cloth clothing, and they drink merrily. The room is bright with lamplight, and warm from the hearth near the back. The wooden chairs don animal pelts for cushion. The kitchen is exposed to the central room, and a halfling cook works quietly over the stove while a short human man chops and shapes ingredients upstream. Near the entrance is a small bar with a deep, rich finish, helmed by a female dwarf. Also in the bar, you notice there is... Well, would you like to describe your characters, Tim and Maggie?
Absolutely. You notice a average-heighted, almost 6-foot tiefling. Its horns at the front of his eyebrow giving him away instantly of his demonic self. And sitting across from him is...
is a short halfling female with gray hair and gray eyes, and we're playing a card game.
So they're at one of the tables. They kind of stand out a bit. Most other people are in just very normal clothes, either sort of light linens and cloths or sort of canvas, rough clothing. And a lot of the patrons look, especially the ones in rough cloth, look somewhat dirty. They have, wipes of dirt across their brow and down their arms. Some of them still wear, leather gloves that they're just now taking off.
I guess I'll walk to the dwarf at the bar.
Yeah, making a beeline right for the bar.
Hello, we would really like some food and lodging for the night.
Yes, we've got beds for sure. You sure you don't want something to eat first?
Oh yes, we would like food as well.
Aye. Yeah, have a seat at any table there, and, someone will be around to take your order shortly.
Alright, sounds good.
Enjoying the merriment here in Brimshire. I suppose you folk are new. I haven't seen you round.
Yes, we just came into town.
Aye, well, enjoy it while you can. It's not been terribly peaceful lately.
Oh, really? What's been going on?
Not too much, mind you. I mean, there's still plenty of, tourist attractions and stuff to do around town. Lots of shopping to do if you're in need of weaponry and armor, as I see you might be. But there's, slight worker disputes, you might say.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll definitely keep that in mind as we explore the town.
Yep. Have a seat. We'll be with you shortly.
I guess I'll look for a free table.
Okay. It's difficult to even find a free table with all the people drinking. You managed to find one sort of near the back, near the tiefling and halfling that you saw earlier.
Actually, there.
Okay.
Cora, is that another member of the Hilltopple clan?
Oh, dwarf, you know that not all halflings come from the same families, just like not all dwarves are the same.
Obviously not all.
Okay, so you guys sit down at the table. There's light music in the background that you can barely hear over all the bustle.
Does anybody happen to have that piece of paper that we got off of Frederick? I know somebody has it. I'm not sure if I equipped it.
Believe Thea has it.
Okay, I pull it out of my satchel.
Thea, do you mind if I borrow this for a little while?
Oh no, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Alright, I'll take it and put it in my pocket.
Okay, you're just gonna take possession of it. You don't really look
Yeah.
at it. Here you go. I'm giving it to you.
Thank you!
I mean, as far as we can tell, it's just a blank piece of paper still, right?
No.
It has art, like names on it, and then a bunch of weird symbols at the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah.
that piece, yeah.
Yeah.
We had it linked on the board, didn't we?
I have it now, yeah.
Yeah.
It's there.
In space if anyone wants to see it. Alright, I'll just sit awkwardly waiting for someone to come take our order.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna start impatiently tapping my foot because I really want something to drink.
You see, there is one server going around, a female dwarf. She looks very jovial as she moves from table to table, taking orders, talking with the patrons. She has braided and curled, shocking blonde hair, green eyes, fair skin, medium build. And eventually she makes her way over to your table. Hey, what's y'all be having tonight? I'm Jiroshi. Welcome to Jiroshi's Stone Break.
I will take the strongest alcohol you have.
Ah, the Devil's Own Gin. Sure.
Sounds perfect.
What food do you have this evening?
Hi, well, we have, meat and potatoes plate. We've got some local vegetables as well. There's a sort of lamb stew that the patrons just love, spiced lamb stew. Anything catch your fancy?
I'll take a vegetable plate, maybe some bread.
Okay.
I'll have the same along with one of those gins.
Yes, I'll have some gin as well.
Yes. Should I just bring a bottle for the table?
Sure,
Yes,
sounds good.
Oh, also I'll need a handshake for myself.
She, glances over at Trogdor. She's like, yes. Is he going to, cause any trouble? I don't mean to be rude, but I've never seen one of those before.
Oh no, he's mostly harmless.
Make sure that he's entirely harmless while he's here, please. Sorry, it's just a lot of people around, and, can't have my, reputation being that, dragons attack my patrons.
Well, he can't even breathe fire. I mean, he's barely a dragon.
Okay.
Pseudo dragons for a reason.
I see.
I
Never
lean
heard of
over and
that.
whisper in Trogdor's ear. I'm sorry.
Just nuzzles into you and it's hiding behind you most of the time. It's not used to being around so many people. Alright, so that bottle of gin and veggie plate, ham shank. Sorry, what did you want? She gestures to you, Thea.
Just a veggie plate and that ham shake.
Veggie plate. Nothing to eat for our tiefling friend here.
He decides on alcohol, if
Yeah.
nothing else.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
I heard giants were nearby. I would like to know, have you heard any tales of them?
Giants, you say? I haven't heard of any, no.
I'm trying to pursue them, and we found some in the nearby hill.
All sorts of folk come through here. Never heard anyone seen a giant up the road.
Really? There were quite a few. None of your people have seen any of them.
Not a peep. I know people gone missing up on the way to Moontip, but never met anyone who came back. As far as I know, nobody know what's out there.
How many people have gone missing lately?
Oh, not quite a few, maybe a dozen or so. But you know, I'm sure the Silver Blades will get on it eventually.
That seems like a high amount for a relatively small town. Is that usual for you?
I mean, they're not all denizens of this town, you see. It's just people from all over. Look, it's kind of a busy room. I'm sorry, I can't stop and talk right now. Maybe later.
Of course.
But I'll get all your food. What about you, dwarf?
2 handshakes.
Ah, the double, of course. And to drink? I've got a lovely ale.
An extra bottle of that whiskey, please.
An entire bottle, you say? All right then, I'll put you down for 2 bottles. I'll be right out with your food.
Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. Enjoy your stay.
I look around the room for any books.
Roll perception. So what's that total?
What do I add on to it again? Sorry.
Perception is wisdom and
so
proficiency
20.
if you're proficient. Okay.
Yeah.
You make sort of like a thorough casing of the room, and looking at all the patrons carefully over, you don't see a single book in the entire room.
Bummer. I like books.
Well,
Now
you've
I
got
just have to sit here and talk to you people.
you've got plenty, I imagine, if you want.
I'm gonna pull out one of my books and just start reading.
Excuse me. I couldn't help but notice your party seems quite bored right now. Would you like to join me and my halfling compatriot for a small gambling game?
What game are you playing?
The highest of high-class games in the area, blackjack. The simplest of minds can play it, and of course the best are great at it.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'd rather stay here and read my book.
You don't wish to try to commune further, see your luck and chance things together, make yourself a fortune? You seem already wealthy with your ordering.
I've never been particularly lucky, I'm afraid.
I've got a simple mind.
Come, take a seat, let us push our tables together.
I'll get up and help move it with my massive strength.
So, Merida stands up. She's not super tall, kind of a little above average height for a female human, but she just like grabs the table by herself and quickly slams you occasionally because you're all so strange. Sort of looks over, and Trogdor like scampers under the table and curls up, like having been exposed by you having moved the table.
I'll just kind of cough and sit back down awkwardly.
You even have magical creatures. What is such a thing?
Oh, that's just Trogdor. Don't mind him.
Don't mind such a magical being, such a fun creature. I don't think I'll ignore him.
He doesn't prefer to be around strangers, so get close at your own peril.
pops his head out from under the table briefly and like looks around quickly and then pops back in. You hear him just kind of running circles under the table.
I get up and walk to the opposite side of the table and sit down by myself, as far away from everyone else as I can, and read my book.
Also next to Ali. And keep an eye on the game.
So only one of you game to play, game to join against this halfling here.
That's okay. I'm already on a hot streak. I don't need a lot of people getting in my way.
Fine. Back to the cards then.
So who's playing? Alec?
Yep. Sorry, it's hard to unmute, and I got too much background noise to not mute it. You can't unmute myself while I'm in TTS, so just tab out and then unmute.
Oh yeah. You could probably leave
But
yourself
yes.
unmuted. I think you're fine.
No. Britt's right there too, and then there's a
okay.
crying. Hi.
Hey, Brett.
Do you want to be on the internet? She said yes.
I think I heard her say yeah. Okay.
Maybe there's a baby in the tavern and you're just adding atmospheric details.
There's a small gnome who cries like
There's
a baby
in the
occasionally.
tavern, there's a baby in the dark caves, there's a baby in the mines.
There's a baby everywhere.
Just babies.
Come on.
Those giants, actually babies. Yeah.
There's a baby dragon.
There are just 20 babies all put together. Anyway.
And halflings are just baby
In a
people.
coat.
So.
Okay, so there's a deck of cards many of you are familiar with. It's sort of a traditional poker deck. And this tiefling is sort of dealing them to the halfling and to himself. And he's going to ask you about a bet, presumably.
I'm not drunk enough to play this game yet.
Jirashi comes back over with 2 bottles of gin and just puts them down in addition to a bunch of glasses. Sort of have to marvel at her for a moment. Small-ish dwarf carrying a platter with all of your plates of food, some sort of tucked in her arm, the 2 bottles of gin and several glasses. She distributes the glasses, sets the bottles down meticulously, and then almost like throws the bowls of food at people. And they just land carefully, like slide into place in front of you on the table. Not under her arm, like tucked in her arm like waitresses do and waiters do.
I don't know what that means.
You carried ham shanks in your pocket, so I think you can hardly complain.
Not pocket.
Eh.
And they were wrapped in wax paper or something, let's say.
After they were covered in dirt. Anyway.
Yes, dirt.
Up in the pits.
I just call that seasoning.
Yes. She throws some. I see you've met our resident gamblers, I suppose. Been here a few days now.
A few days, you say?
Yeah, just a couple of days.
And how successful have people been playing their games?
Oh, quite. It's off and on. You know.
We're all getting such a reputation out here. It sounds so much less than I want to. Actually, we haven't even been formally introduced. I have yet to tell you my wondrous name.
Oh, what is it?
Chance, much like the game we're about to play.
Oh, very good. I'm Nerda.
Pleasure to meet you as always.
Harbequeer to mitalik, harbequeer to mit, harbequeer to harbequeer harbe har.
Quite the mouthful you have there, sir.
And then he doesn't say anything.
That's all you say. You just say her name and you're done.
Lost.
Don't let this slime ball take up too much of your attention. But it is nice to meet you guys. My name is Welgwyn Woodbarrel.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Little
the
one,
elf you chased off is named Thea.
You know our...
I look over my book, roll my eyes, and go back to reading.
Little halfling, do you know our companion? The giant slayer?
Okay, so I would love to be called Little.
This is like the theme of the campaigns.
Yeah, it is. It's
I'm
more
sorry,
calling a halfling short, so... You know.
Some of our compatriots are a little bit culturally insensitive, let's say, but they're good people at heart.
Anyway, so he gestures over towards Cora as he says that.
Yes, well, I'm just sitting there sharpening my arrow. I'm not taking much of an interest.
Alright. Well, it seems we have all the players we're going to with this game, so let's start with betting.
Alright. I'm keeping as close an eye out as I can for funny business and cheatery.
Okay. Has anyone poured drinks?
Not yet.
I've poured myself a drink.
Okay.
I have room drinks. Straight from one of the bottles.
From the bottle.
Yeah, I got the other bottle. Does anybody else want any of these bottles? Because
I'll point my glass towards
I'm
Ellie.
definitely staring longingly at your whiskeys. Or gin.
It's gin.
Yeah.
Get it
There's
right.
there's a difference.
As you uncork the bottle,
One is clear and one is brown.
the pungent smell of gin, and it's like a slightly sour smell as well, just nips at your nose. And, whew! This is heavy stuff. You get the feeling that a lot of the locals are hardy drinkers if they drink this stuff nightly.
What's the name of the woman attending to us?
Jirashi.
Jirashi? Oh yeah. Okay. I need to ask her what botanicals went into this gin. So get that ready for me.
Okay. Alright, but presumably the game of blackjack is starting.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit drinking straight from the bottle, watching this round. I'm not going to play.
I'll play.
Yeah, I think Alec and Nerida, or sorry, Alec is playing. Who else was playing?
I'm watching.
Oh yeah, Nerida's just watching. You don't want to play?
Nope, I want to
All right.
intensely watch.
Okay.
Awkwardly and too close.
Okay. And Maggie, what's your character's name?
Welgwyn.
Welgwyn is playing as well. Okay. Gotcha. Alright, so Chance is gonna deal. You can just describe what you're doing.
I'm shuffling the cards all about, moving them quite deftly through my hands constantly, doing like the bridge shuffle, moving cards around, breaking them in pieces with one hand to cut and shuffle them. So I am very talented with the cards. Slowly.
Make a roll for that.
Yeah, sure.
Roll 1d21. I'll make that joke a lot.
Oh yeah, the easiest way to roll is to just hit R if you're hovering over the die. Yeah.
So is the purple dice secret, and then all the other dice are...
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And Nerida, go ahead and roll perception.
Secretly or public?
You're being pretty public about your attempt to perceive what's going on here.
Blam. Oh, no, move party. Oh, I failed. They're too fast for me. Plus 8, but that's only a 9.
You're not really used to seeing someone manipulate cards, and he's flipping them around in his hands, like doing all these shuffles, and you're just like, you get lost in just watching the dexterity of it. And the first hand is dealt. He deals face down to Alec. He deals a 10, and then face up he deals a jack, and then to Nerida.
I'm not playing.
Oh, sorry.
I was just watching.
Then to Welgwyn, he deals face down an 8 and face up an ace. And to himself, he deals something face down you don't see, and face up is a 2.
Stay.
No risks for you today. Interesting, interesting. And you, halfling?
You know what? I think I'll stay.
Is exciting.
Oh, what was the bet, by the way? No one talked about a bet.
Tin, apparently. 100 pounds of tin.
100 tons of tin.
Tons, sorry.
I think 5 gold is probably a good start.
Sure, 5
Well,
gold.
given what our dwarf has said, that is the most common thing around.
Everything was tin.
Everything is tin.
I think this table is 10.
Anyway,
Definitely.
so you each put in 5 gold. He puts 10 gold up on the table in front of him. And before the deal, then deals those cards. So you're both staying?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so you flip your cards to reveal what you have. He flips his face down card and it's a 7.
So I'm gonna keep on dealing myself more cards, and the next one that comes up is a queen, and I bust. So, unfortunate for me, terrible for all. But good luck for our venturing pals, and you again, the halfling. Annoying person.
So he hands 5 gold to each of you.
Yay.
Well, with the good beginner's luck, do we continue on, or have I chased you off?
Oh gosh, you know what? I think I'm gonna go again.
I think I've taken enough chances.
But I've now consumed in a single hand of cards. I've consumed a third of the bottle of gin I was drinking. I
You're
don't know,
fine. You feel great. You're ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. My interest has been piqued, although I'm weary of chance.
Okay.
So, or leery of chance.
If it makes you feel any better, he's a legitimately bad blackjack player.
Not the time, with the place, Weldwin.
Oh,
I don't come into town very much, towns at all, but I already can tell I'm not going to like you.
Oh.
Just not the first person who has told me this. And trust me, I do grow on you.
I'm going to grab my ham shank and just kind of go sit around the other side of the table near the halfling. And that's going to lead to some fun conversation. Awkward alley conversation, but not yet. I'm eating.
Next to Welgwyn?
Yes.
Okay.
But well good.
I feel like you just calling me the halfling is gonna happen a lot.
I'm sorry.
Especially
I'm bad
as
with names.
we have
really
2
bad,
now.
so.
Try to get a mini on the table at some point.
We might have to start learning each other's names.
But yeah, straight up, Alik is not, like we said, culturally sensitive. You can ask Cora. He's not culturally sensitive.
That dwarf is a dick. He's
Now
my
that there's more
friend,
than now that there's more
but
than
he's a dick.
you can't just call them the halfling anymore.
Yeah, that's true. He's just gonna keep calling me Giant Slayer, though.
He earned the name, Giant Slayer. Cora Giant
Hello.
Slayer.
Hilltopple. I keep telling you, you insensitive prick, that my last name is Hilltopple.
Better than Mountain Topple.
And I just facepalm and go back to my arrows.
This seems like a good time to take another bet from everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a huge swig from my bottle and put down my bet.
Alright. Is it just 5 this time, or are we upping the bet?
You know what? I did pretty well with 5. I'm gonna up it to 10.
Fine, 10.
Can I try to keep an eye on it again? I don't know if it's the same roll or if I try again.
Oh, you can try again. So who's in this bet? Just lost?
Oh, much better. 26.
Oh, while this is going on, I'm going to talk to the halfling. I'm sorry, to Welgwyn?
Yes,
To
well,
Welgwyn, and it'd be like, you know, I learned a lot about halflings recently. I used to think you were just useless short folks, but I know that some of you, you know, not all of you, are useless. Like Cora over there, I call her Giant Slayer. Her name's Hilltopple, I know, but we have fun. We have a good back and forth, me and her. So
Indeed, he has saved my life more than once. I will forgive him some small slights.
oh sure, of course. So Giant Slayer, is that... Did you do that?
earned the
Well-
name. He did. She did. Sorry, she did.
Other than not knowing my sex, recently we did encounter some giants. Unfortunately, it seemed like the one leading the hill giants got away. So there are concerns about the missing people in the neighborhood, the area. It's just been bringing up some bad memories.
Oh gosh, well it's so brave of you to be out there doing such daring things. I mean, I pretty much stay in town, and that's so impressive. It's so nice to meet another halfling who has such a cool life.
Oh, it was 26.
26?
Yeah. 18 plus 8.
Okay.
On what? Wait, what? Anyway, I would not call it cool or interesting. It was forced upon me when my family was killed by those vicious creatures, and I've just been trying to survive ever since.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You know, I lost my family when I was young as well, and it's very difficult, but you're brave to be going through it.
During this discussion, Chance has been shuffling the cards again, flipping them around quite a bit, and he deals out, let's see, to Welgwyn, face down you get an 8, and face up you get a 7. And Lost is the other one playing, right? Face down you get a 3, and face up you get an ace. And he deals to himself something face down, and face up a 6.
So how does this work? What do I say if I want another card?
We want to be hit.
Well, then hit.
I punch him. Play it.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay, I think.
Lost, sorry, what did I say he dealt you?
I had a 3 and an ace.
3 and an ace. Okay. Next card out to you is an 8.
And what is the objective? What am I trying to do?
You're hitting the Lord's number of 21. With your ace there, though, you can have the 11 or the single, so you're still in it.
Well, then I might as well have another card. Hit.
Helm's number is not 21.
Oh, the Master of Helm was here, not the Lord of this area, my friend.
He is the lord of all areas.
Chance deals to you a 9.
And with that, a 21 for my tiefling compatriot. The luck is quite on your side today. The party is taking much of my gold, which I do not like doing easily.
As he flips a card over to himself to reveal a 7, he flips his face down card to reveal a jack. So he's bust.
gonna take a big swig. Say, I'm not sure I see the purpose of this game, but I do like winning.
So Chance, you are one of the... You Southlanders tend not to have any pride in your families. I assume you don't have a clan to call your own? A family?
Oh, not any longer. Long ago, I had quite a fun circus performing group that I was part of, but we had different ideas of where I should take my talents.
What talents?
Ah, you're seeing them now. You're hearing them, my friend. My performance, my charisma, all of this enlightens many around. I like to make people feel good and be entertained.
Doesn't make him good at
We don't need any of that on the adventure.
We don't have any of that on the adventure. Nobody has charisma.
Unfortunately, that is true, but that's metagaming. In reality, my character would not be happy with, just charisma as a... It's hard out there. We've come near to death. Myself recently was brutally bashed by giants. Charisma, I don't see how that would come of aid.
My, you've survived such great circumstance already. You should be proud of yourself. Happy even.
Indeed, but that does not mean that I'm racing to danger.
Sometimes, Cora, it takes a silver tongue to convince defenseless villagers that they need help.
Well, it's not so bad.
Helm. You have told us that Helm does not need any sort of invitation. He simply goes in and performs.
Not Helm. Help. Protection. But they do need Helm. That is true.
Is Helm with them, my friend?
He is with all of us. Sometimes we just are not with him.
We seem to be gone away from our main activity here. Now, since I've taken a sizable loss with our bettings, let's take things up a little further, shall we? How would you say for 100 gold a hand?
I think that's too rich for our blood.
Well, what about
Where am I sitting? Am I near anybody?
Sorry?
Am I near anybody anymore?
Yeah, you're standing over this whole group of people.
Well, I'm not sitting at the table?
Well, you're sitting at the table, but you're like...
Well, when I say that, I'll kind of like tap left under the table. What's too rich for our blood?
We have plenty of gold amongst the party. 100 gold.
Not to bet away. We're here for a specific
purpose. We could use that money for more arrows for the giant slayer, Cora.
I could use some more gin, finishing the first bottle.
And think of all the handshakes.
I just don't think gambling is in our best interest right now.
What's everybody doing?
I'm sitting out.
I'm ignoring everybody still and thoroughly immersed in my book. Trogdor's snuggling up on my leg.
It's a good book.
I'm enjoying life.
How many diamonds could you buy with 100 gold?
None. None of use anyway.
Despite the fact that I drank a whole bottle of gin and I was enjoying winning, I'm gonna follow Nerida's, saying that it's too rich for her. She's got a lot better judgment than I do.
But it's simply luck. Using judgment in such a time, it could be good for yourselves. I know
there might be a little bit more than luck at play.
Many expensive treasures.
Treasures, guys.
No one's stopping you from betting, Alec.
I'm trying to.
I'm trying to convince you that's party gold.
You're trying to convince people to use party gold for it?
Yeah, I was mentioning party gold.
Yeah.
Party gold, but no. We need consensus for that.
If we're using party gold, I'll use party gold.
A definite no vote from me.
Cora's on board.
And I'll put my hand on Cora's shoulder. I don't think this is something that we want to bet our money on.
These smug adventurers think it's easy out there. I would like to show them that not all things in life are hard. If we agreed to teach them a lesson, I would be happy to use some of our group funds to pursue those ends. However, I do not want to put my own money where my mouth is.
I mean, people will probably hear me, but I'll lean close to Cora and say, I don't think this is a lesson that we can win here.
Sort of lean in and
Yeah.
whisper to her. The din of the tavern kind of drowns you out a bit. You say it a bit louder.
Kind of pat her on the back, and I'm like, I hope you believe I have your best interests at heart here.
Of
Oh,
course,
come on,
Nana, you have
100
always
gold?
been a true friend to me.
100 gold and I can shuffle.
Alec, if you want to bet your own gold, I can't stop you, but my advice is that we end the game here.
I would gladly let you shuffle a deck, but I must deal them.
Does anybody else have a deck of cards that we can use for this?
I don't think anyone in the party has a deck of cards.
I have broken manacles.
I mean, I can tell fortunes with shark teeth, but I do not. I have kind of like
So nobody has cards.
I thought I did, but I don't.
Nope.
No.
I only have this, and then I remove my bagpipes from my bag.
I'd like to take the chance, but unfortunately, my companions say no.
Sorry, I've always been a bit of a spoil sport. And I'll pour chance of drink.
You're gonna. Whose bottle are you taking? One's for Alec and one is for
The one
Lost.
that was, I'm taking Alec's bottle, I guess.
You take Alec's bottle. Okay, so the bottle is right in front of you, Alec, and Narada reaches over and grabs
I
it.
just stare at her.
Incensed.
Noticing Nerida take Alec's bottle, I go, you should have finished it faster, like me.
Alec, you look over and Lost is like pouring the last drip of the bottle into
I'll
his
hand
mouth.
Alec mine that I didn't drink.
I'm just gonna angry eat my ham shank.
Yeah, I'll say sorry, no harm done, friend, and hand him my drink that I didn't touch. That was from his bottle before.
Okay.
I very greedily drink directly from the bottle. Thank you. Always good when talking such to wet palate.
So, how did you guys end up in Brimshire anyway?
Well, tiny bit of fate of it is, we found a bit of work in the area as we're trying to explore and get ourselves established.
Really, what sort of work do you do?
Well, I'm mostly on diplomatic business of sorts. I'm from a fairly wealthy halfling family, and you kind of have to keep up those connections.
Hmm. Where's your family from?
Oh gosh, we're so far out of town. We move around quite a bit.
I'm from the Concord of the Coast myself, so quite a ways north from where you usually live.
Oh, that's wonderful. Do you like it up here, or do you miss home?
I miss home a little bit. It's definitely easier to get work, but it's been interesting exploring Lothuria.
I'm sure. I know he seems like a bit of a sneaky sort, but honestly, Chance has mostly been my bodyguard on this trip, and it's been wonderful to have him around. He's so worldly and not nearly as creepy as he might seem on first.
Unfortunately, I find myself off-putting on occasion. I understand.
You see Cora with her lute out, like marching over to where the minstrels are and talking with them as they play. Pretty soon, she jumps in with them and starts playing as well. Go ahead and roll performance. You're just trying to like join their song, basically.
For right now.
Yeah.
We'll see how well I roll. Oh, 17.
Did you actually roll that?
That's what it came out as?
I don't think you rolled those. Those were your separate die. Here, just click the strip. It's easier.
It did. I hit R on the roller strip and it just...
oh, you don't hit R on the roller strip. You just click it.
No.
We'll take
We'll
this
take the
one.
first one.
18. Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
You start jamming right in along with them.
So they will follow my lead, and I will lead them into a round of the Moontip Adventure Song,
Okay.
which is our victory in Moontip, which no one here knows about, but it's still a rousing song. So
Eventually, as you sing about it, people are sort of listening. They're like getting into it because you're playing really well, and the minstrels behind you are playing really well as well. And eventually, they start realizing that like you're singing about your party. They're like, oh, okay.
cool. Continue, guys.
What time is it? Do I have fun?
When you arrived, it was night. Like it had just become night. The sun was just setting, so it was like 8.
It's been like a few hours.
It's been an hour.
An hour.
You would guess. What's everybody doing?
I'm
eating my
trying to
food.
get the attention of the waitress so I can get another bottle of something.
Hey, what you need?
I'll take another one of those gin bottles, please.
Ah, the Devil's Own. Yes, of course. Anything else? While I'm here.
I glance down at Trogdor to see if he's hungry.
You fed him the ham shank, right, under
I
the
know,
table.
but maybe he wants another one.
He looks up at you, he's like,
One more ham shank.
yes, of course, for your beast there, huh?
Yes, I like to keep him well fed. He's best
Huh?
behaved that way.
Like, see that you do? That seems good. Anything else?
We would love some more bread if you could bring that along.
Ah, yes. All
You
right,
know what? The things look pretty good. I guess I'll take one of those.
the ham shank. Yes, I'll bring 2. And she heads off into the kitchen. I think Nerida and Chance were talking about their work.
Oh, I thought he was done.
Oh.
Well, I guess we didn't say. So, where are you from?
Myself, I am not too far away from the conquer of the coast. I remember time spending in the Bloodstep jungle, but, you know, I can't really say for certain where else I'd be from, as the circus definitely moved from town to town quite regularly.
Oh, you're part of the circus then.
Ah, yes. Born into it, well, found into it.
Mm-hmm.
The ringmaster, he took good care of me. The Circulcum Circus, always kind to me in times when I needed them.
Are they in town now?
No, I have stopped. I stopped with them many years ago.
And what sort of work are you doing at the moment in town?
Well, as we said, we're doing a little bit of diplomatic reconnaissance.
Mm-hmm.
You know of the workers' strike going on around us, do you not?
I heard about it when we came into the bar. This is our first time in Brimshire.
Ah, yes, well, slowly but surely the rumors will come to you and you will be able to piece it all together. But the lords here are not the kindest to their workers, as the clouds constantly be
behavior from the Concord, unfortunately.
Indeed. What brings you to Brimshire?
We did some work over in Thara, and then helped clear Moon-Tip of their undead infestation. And thought we'd backtrack and check out the town we moved on.
You are quite the adventurers. Even with the song, I thought there might have been a little bit of, extra bardly, embellishment.
I believe every story gets a little bit of embellishment, but the core of it's true. We did chase off their undead problem.
So at this point, I switch into the Monty Python Lumberjack song. They must enjoy that.
You like slowly kill the tempo way down until it's basically stopped. And then you just start jamming like, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Like the minstrels pick up behind you, playing along with you as you sing. What's everybody doing?
I guess I will. It's pretty crowded in here, right?
While reading,
It's very crowded,
without looking up from the page, I try to reach over and take Loth's bottle to pour some more into my glass.
You're just not looking away from the page. Reach over and grab it as bottle.
Reaching over and grabbing the bottle to pour in my glass.
Okay.
Except for it's in my hand and you can't get it away from me.
I look up when I realize that I'm not able to pull the bottle. Oh, yeah, sorry. Do you mind if I have some?
And I say, okay, and I pour her.
And I go back to reading and drinking.
I'm getting pretty tired myself. It's been a long day.
Well, listen, folks.
How used to alcohol are you? Because apparently they're drinking the heavy stuff. Start reading the same sentence over and over.
Are you asking me?
I think he's talking to Thea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty drunk at this point. I mean, I did raise myself in a cave in the forest, so I don't have a lot of exposure to alcohol.
You take one sip and it just burns all the way down, all the way up through your nostrils. You cough. Yeah.
Oh, quite curious. And I take another drink.
You feel it immediately, this warmth rising from your toes. You feel it all the way up until it reaches the top of your head. And you turn to look at the bottle, and as you turn, your vision seems to trail behind your head, and then it spins a bit as you reach the bottle.
Some pretty decent stuff, huh?
Indeed. This book is much more interesting than I remember it being the last time I read it. I think that they changed it since I saw it last, but I'm not sure. Can they do that? Can they change it while it's in my bag?
Got me.
Well, listen, you guys all seem like you're really exciting, adventurous types, and like I mentioned earlier, I don't really have that much experience in adventuring, but I do have a bit of an opportunity if you guys are interested.
This is not the
We might be.
Well, look, they have a dragon. We could do this.
Pseudo dragon.
And they're
Can't breathe fire or anything.
well,
What were you looking for?
another dragon I know. See, we while we were in town, we've sort of been made aware of a bit of a financial opportunity that I'm just not sure that we have the muscle to pull off on our own. Are you guys familiar with Donatello Lacrimatus?
Can't say that I am. I mean, never heard of it.
You can roll history to see if you know.
Why not? No.
Does anyone else have history you want to try to remember?
Thea, don't you have history?
No, I have religion, insight, arcana, medicine, perception. No history.
Oh gosh, well, I guess it's not important if you don't exactly know who he is. He's, one of these rich guys that Chance was telling you about who he's really trying to keep the workers down. And here's the thing. He has this sword. It's very unique. It's called the Black Steel Blade. And, well, he keeps it kind of close to him. But I have someone who might be interested in getting their hands on it if you would be at all interested in making a little money and sort of sticking it to one of these wealthy, oppressive types.
It would make all of the workers here quite happy to see the main lord without his famous blade.
Do I believe that she's being straightforward about that?
Roll insight.
So you want us to help you rob somebody?
I'm gonna assist insight.
I get assist?
You can roll on your own. I'm going to say you can't assist on insight because that just doesn't make any sense to my brain.
I'll roll it on my own.
And I got 14.
And roll at disadvantage, Thea, because you are drunk.
Okay, so that means
Roll
I
again.
roll again and take the lower.
That was some spin.
Alright, and then I'm +3, so 15.
Nerida, you can't really get a read at all. I mean, if you've just met these people, you're not good at reading people in general.
Well, that's not true.
You're okay, fair enough.
She's not good at talking to people. She can
I was +8.
You're distracted. You're +8?
Yeah.
Oh, well, so you feel like you're honing in on them, but you feel like they're genuine. Like they have a job, they're offering it to you. There's nothing deceitful going on there. Thea, you feel mostly the same thing. Yeah, I don't think they're trying to deceive you in any way.
I take this isn't exactly the most legal of jobs.
I assume that's to Welgwyn.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's so loud in here. Could you say that one more time?
Oh, I said I assume this isn't exactly the most legal of jobs.
Would this put us at odds with the town guard? Because the last town that we did that to, that did not go well.
Well, I mean, I suppose there might be some issues if they found out, but, I mean, wouldn't it be better to take away a brute's weapon so they can't oppress a town full of people anymore?
I mean, that does sound good.
Never
I'm sort of reading until my face falls out of my hand.
And
Pick yourself up, try to recompose. Hope no one noticed.
And what would be the reward for helping you guys?
well, we figured we would be able to share at least 50% of our net with you since you have done so much great work for us. We also know that it will be rather easy to hopefully steal from him.
And what kind of net are we talking about here?
Well, if we are willing to give you 50%, that puts us at 500 gold for you.
Do I believe that that's half of what they're getting?
Roll,
You can use the same roll if you want, but...
No, roll again. You're starting to hone in on them.
Yeah, 17 plus 8 is a number.
That first time you got a good read. Now you know.
Give me a second here. Oh. Let me check my notes real quick.
Trogdor.
DM
You're
stuff.
very cute, Trogdor. I like you a lot.
He's
You
like,
can be with us for a
cocks
long
his head at you. He's like,
Do you want some of this?
concern,
Pull the glass
concern.
out to Trogdor.
I'm going to grab
Sniffs
the
it a
glass
bit.
from Thea, and I'm going to shoot it back real quick.
Oh, I finished that very fast. I thought there was more left.
Sorry, let me check my notes. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you believe her.
Okay. I mean, that's a fair bit of gold. What do you guys think? Are you willing to remove the sword from this man?
I mean, 500 gold to robbed some guy.
Someone who sounds rich and
how
important.
easy is this?
Gosh, with all this stuff happening in town, he's not even going to be able to notice that it's gone.
Especially since we know that the workers are holding a demonstration soon, and they will be marching along the main road. Perfect time for us to blend in with the crowd and simply walk away, steal, and leave.
You said that he keeps it close to him. So is it like on him? How do we steal something that's on him?
With all of the bodies going through that town, all of them marching their way up to the Lacrimatus estate, well, he was undoubtedly going to be tracked by many a worker or seen by them if they get where they're going.
Dragon that I noticed is catching everyone's eyes. Maybe you can make sure he's looking elsewhere.
I mean, stealth isn't one of my fortes, but perhaps I could help in another way.
Well, I'm not one to stoop to thievery. You mentioned that it's in defense of helping the innocent workers around here, but how can we know that that's true? How oppressed are these workers? They seem very jovial around here, having a good time at the inn.
You have noticed, as you're sitting in the tavern, that occasionally there are kind of like jeers and yells about the Lacrimatus family, and everyone here seems to be having fun, sort of despite their very difficult day at work. They're very tired, they're like drinking a lot, and they cheer and make jokes at each other and stuff like that, but occasionally they do make jokes about the Lacrimatus. They're enjoying.
And I'm gonna go into the very sad song that we picked up from, or I picked up from Villa and Serafi about the death of Sylvania.
Yep. So the music slowly shifts into this somber tone. It plods along in like a melancholy fashion and sweeps into sort of a soaring chorus, again, about this girl, Sylvania, who was tempted by a demon until she became a siren.
Are there people sitting at tables very physically close to us?
Oh yeah, people all over the place.
Okay. He sort of drunkenly leans over to a random stranger and says, "Shh.
Oh, yes, miss?
Do you work in the mines?
Oh, yes. This whole table here does.
Do you guys like the guy, the boss guy? Do you like him?"
The Lacrimates?
Yes.
No. I mean, it's a little hard. It's getting easier to say it out loud, but it's not been great lately.
So you're not a fan?
How?
Well, they suddenly asked us to be buying our own equipment. You know, a group of workers went off over to the west. There's a new what's it called? Drill. New site. And some of the workers from the lacquery mines took tools over there, sort of, company-owned tools. Now they're making us buy all our own tools. We can barely afford to live with what they pay us as it is. It's not right.
That's terrible.
Yeah, the ones who stayed are being punished.
I'm gonna lean down on the table and go to sleep.
Just pass it out.
How?
Well,
and why?
Well, we're forced to buy our own equipment. That stuff wears out all the time, They don't pay us much, and then we gotta use half of it, almost, to buy picks and hammers and chisels. And buy all our own leather. Keep safe in the mines. Anyone who speaks up, they get nothing, sometimes a beating. It's not right.
Indeed, my friend, no it is not. As we said, stealing such a sword would be quite a happy gesture for the workers around.
Yes. See that you don't get in too tight with the Lacrimates. We won't think kindly of you if you do.
Don't worry, I don't see that happening, sir.
Good. He raises his glass to you. Power to the workers! And he turns around. His table's like, power to the workers! Cheer like resonates throughout
hold up my bottle and go,
bar.
yeah.
Well, would you guys be alright with us taking the evening, discussing it among ourselves, and getting back to you in the morning? Where some of us are absent, and I'll point to Cora, and some of us are not all there, and point to Thea. Say, I think we need a chance to mull this over.
Absolutely, of course. We wouldn't want you to rush through anything, and in fact, you know what? I'm sure we can work out a way that'll keep you well out of harm's way where you can still assist us, so take some time and think it over, and, you know, we're easy to find when you need us.
We're always where the crowd is.
Sounds good.
As you've been talking, another local woman comes over. Are those cards? Is there a game?
Ah, yes, another happy compatriot. Please, it's
I've heard of this. It's blackjack, right?
correct. I see you're a fine, educated person.
It's clearly a woman, but in like miner's clothes as well. She's all scuffed up with dirt and stuff. She's got a couple of friends behind her. Yeah, they'll sit and play too. So this group sort of sits down as well. They start trying to play blackjack with you.
Oh, I'm gonna start getting distracted more with them. But focusing on them and playing cards with them.
Jaravi comes back over. It's like, you'll be paying for the meal tonight?
You know what? We'll cover the table.
Oh, mighty kind of you. These two done nothing but good since they've been here.
Well, thank you so much. That's very kind of you.
It's always good to invest in a new friendship.
And you folks are from out of town, yeah?
Yes, we are.
Do you need a place to stay for the night? We've got beds.
Yes, we would like to stay here if that's possible.
Yeah. Not too expensive, you know?
How many rooms do you have available?
We've got the 6. A couple with double beds.
I'll share with Thea.
I know these two are already staying. He points to Chance and Wildwin. Been great for us. Yeah, okay. You want me to set you up with 6 beds or 5 beds? How many are you? Does a dragon need a bed? We can make it 6.
The elf barely sleeps.
She's sleeping right now.
True. She and the dragon can share a bed.
She's had a good night. You'll need a comfortable place for her.
Yes, we will.
It's only 2 gold a night per person.
Sounds good.
And that'll cover your meal in the morning and your bed for the one night.
I'm good.
All right. Hand him 2 gold, I guess.
Yes. I'll put you in the guest list. And she's
Actually, I'll hand him 4 gold. This is for Thea. She's a little out of it.
okay. She puts you in the guest list. She takes gold. Chance and Welgwin, all the food and drinks for the table come to 35 gold. Those bottles are like 15 apiece.
30 gold.
We'll take another party, I guess. Party coppers.
Yeah.
Well, Chance and Welgwin are paying for the food.
Oh, look at you, fancy pants.
Drop a stack of coins on the table. Just alright, no problem. Pick a few from the top. Just let them clink back.
And she scoops them off the table. Generous as always. Yes, you're in the roster for tonight. You're in our guest book for tonight, so the rooms are upstairs, and just they're at your leisure now.
I'm surprised Cora's not trying to pick anybody's pockets right now, considering all the attempts.
Cora's been heavily restrained, focused.
Well, I'm still up on stage, and I don't do that.
No, she's like,
thank God.
When shit's like she has money in her hand, she's gonna try to keep more of it. That's all.
Yeah.
Opportunist, not a straight up thief.
I'm chaotic good.
Yeah.
Okay, so unless anyone else wants to do anything else before the night ends, does anyone want to do anything?
Well, so I want to sing the tribute song from Moontip to go all the way circle, but not the actual one, the tribute one.
You finish out the night with your tribute song that you learned from Saravi and Bella.
Yeah. And, what, can I collect tips?
Sure. The miners here, you gauge are fairly poor. Let's see.
Roll for tips.
Roll for tips. You end up with a total of 4 gold in tips.
Okay, how much would it be to pay for everyone's dinner for the night?
35, and it's already covered.
Been done.
Not our dinner. Everyone, all the miners, though.
All the miners? Like
Yeah.
just like a flagon or whatever, a veil would be like 5 silver.
So yeah, how much would it be for everyone? So like, there's a bunch of.
You could probably pay for about 20 people worth of stuff. You're gonna take their tips and then like spend it on their drinks.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You like offer to buy several rounds. You're like, as much as this will get the local patrons, and they're like,
oh yeah. To my stories. We are the what? We don't really have a party name. We are the adventurers.
Might have to decide on that at some point. Like, oh yeah, for the halfling. They're cheering, yeah, power to the workers. Cheers for the halfling.
Okay.
They're like friends and family, and they're raising their mugs and clinking them and drinking.
I think it might be time to head to bed. Yeah.
All right, so everyone heads up to their rooms for the night.
As we're going upstairs, like once we're kind of out of eye shot, I'll tap Thea and cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you've had a bit of a...
I'm assuming you've been like, you got Thea over your shoulder and you're like hauling her upstairs. She's like,
oh yeah, because you're super strong, so you could totally carry me.
Yeah. And then once it's not 100% super obvious that I'm casting magic in the middle of a crowd, I'll cast Lesser Restoration.
Alright.
Oh, that was the strangest feeling. I don't think I ever want to drink again.
Maybe just a little bit less next time.
Alright, everyone makes it to their rooms for the night. You find very comfortable beds and nice lodging. Surprising for how sort of stark and bleak the town is in general. It's not, 5-star fancy tavern things you're used to. Not even as nice as what was in Moontip at the Pale Glow, but still pretty serviceable. And everyone sets up for the night, and that is where we will take our break.
And it's more expensive? It was 2 gold? It was 1 gold in Moontip, right?
Yeah, it's more expensive.
Oh.
I'm trying to feel all the hard work.
So during this rest, I'm making a spell change. I just like.
Okay.
I actually don't remember what I dropped. I had speak with animals twice. I learned, and I had it from my staff. So I dropped speak with animals, and I learned to conjure animals instead.
You can conjure them, and then you can talk to them.
Before we go to sleep too, I'll turn to Thea and I'll pull out the paper. And I was like, so, I've been trying to figure this out. Unfortunately, I thought I might be able to read it, but I can't. Do you happen to have comprehend languages?
I do not.
Well, hopefully someday we'll be able to decode this.
I'll keep an eye out for it in any books that we find. Maybe I'll have an opportunity to learn it.
Sounds good.
And we are back. So, the party all settles in for the night in their not Spartan but not luscious rooms at Jirashi's stone break. And everyone goes to sleep except for Thea, who stays up meditating with Trogdor, curled at her feet. She's just relaxed. You enter a meditative state. It takes you a little bit of time. You're more used to greenery. And so this town is kind of throwing you off a little bit. Same for you, Lost. You're used to lush environments, and Cora as well. You're used to very lush environments. Although, Cora, are you of the mountains? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, like, you're kind of at home in a mountainous area, although used to more, like, alpine settings. Alec, though, you've drank quite a bit, and you have no trouble. As soon as you sort of hit the pillow, you drift off to sleep.
Like a baby.
Like a baby. Like a dwarven baby.
How dare you?
And you have sort of just flickers of visions. Again, you think maybe you saw Dakota, flicker of Dakota or so. And then suddenly your vision enters all at once, like a lightning strike. Where you're standing, there is no light all around you. And then you hear a rumbling, like as this enormous stone pillar rises in front of you that you remember from previous visions. And it has several names on it in a script you can not really read. One is struck out, struck through. There are cracks all through it, as if it's been sort of chiseled at.
It's Dakota. Do I like feel that? Do I feel the name?
Yeah, you sort of feel. You can't like read the writing, but you're like, these are
what they are.
Thea and Lost and Nerida. At the bottom of the list, lightning strikes from the edges of your vision, and it just keeps like hitting the obelisk, and it chisels out a new name. And then below that, lightning strikes again from either side, and it chisels out a new name. And you feel a connection to the two people you've met tonight. And you feel it sort of resounding in your soul. Finally, you're able to sort of drop your gaze a bit to the base of the obelisk. And you see, at the base, a figure dressed clad entirely in thick armor, sitting carefully watching you, its hands on its sword resting on no ground at all. There's just darkness below. Your vision fades again, and you wake up in a pile of spittle on your pillow. Wake up in just like a pile of spittle and dwarven snot, and you rub your eyes, they're crusted shut. That was a heartier drink than you've had for quite some time. Everyone else sleeps normally or meditates normally as you would, and awakens the next day. It's somewhat early in the morning, and from outside you hear a drum being beat. It sort of fades away. And you hear it sounds like there's sort of a bustle of people outside. Everyone is awake in their rooms. What do you guys want to do? Who were you sharing a room with, Alec?
I don't know. I didn't know we were sharing rooms.
Usually it's Lost, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like you two
Lost or Cora, because me and Cora are best buds.
That's true. We'll say it's Cora this time.
Yeah.
So Cora, you notice that, Alec drank a lot, that he kind of tossed and turned a little bit in his sleep. Not a lot, but is just slovenly as he wakes up. He's just got like spittle and stuff everywhere.
Normal.
It's not terribly unusual.
Good morning, Alec. You were quite uproarious in your sleep, just snoring and other bodily functions that I do not want to discuss. Are you feeling all right?
Helm granted me a vision. I feel great. We must go find Chance and Welgwyn? And Welgwyn.
And the babies.
And that wasn't me. I don't know who that was.
Yeah, someone outside.
Well, before we head downstairs, I'll try to gather everyone together into one room. And we're all gathered, I assume.
Okay, so Narada, party mom, goes around knocking on doors, gathering everyone up.
So how does
time for school?
how does everyone feel about this job?
Helm gave me a vision.
Oh, really?
They're a part of us now. They're part of this quest that I'm on.
That's interesting. So
Trogdor's looking at Alec like cocking his head.
So you think we should agree to their request then?
I don't know. But
I didn't hear. What was the request?
I'll explain it to Cora.
I don't know if we should agree, but I know that
They want.
They want to steal the black steel blade from Donatello Lacrimatus. Yeah.
So I don't know about giving over these blade if it's as powerful as they say, but stealing it may be the best way to find out and help this town. I did overhear all the workers, what they were saying. It's not a happy place right now.
Yeah. I'm fine either way, really. I mean, my hometown also had a lot of oppression, so I'm not against trying to balance the scores and embarrass their overlords. But I understand that thievery isn't something that everyone can agree to lightly.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting out. That was really hard to hear.
Can we fix it?
I think honestly, if you mute yourself, because we can hear you through Aiden, but it's
Here,
like,
I'll mute my.
It overlaps. It's weird.
Should I repeat that or?
Way better.
That's great. Yeah. Please.
I don't remember exactly what I said, but something along the lines of I'm from a town that has a lot of oppression as well, so I understand the desire to embarrass the overlords and bring a little more balance, but also understand that thievery isn't something that's easy for everyone to agree to, so I'm fine with taking or leaving the job.
I just have concerns about Goodwin, who said they were from a well-off family also. I wonder how they would benefit.
It seems
like he might just need the money.
Also, now that we're all together, I will say that our friend Chance was manipulating the cards somehow, so he might not be the most straightforward and honest of fellows. I caught him swaying the game to his favor.
I am shocked by this. Just floored.
The dwarf seems to believe that Helm has spoken, so...
Yes.
Well, perhaps we can proceed, but with caution about our new compatriots.
Sounds good.
Indeed. Which again cautions me to turn over the sword at the... Cautions us. Caution us. Oh, God.
Is the sword actually a powerful artifact, or is it just kind of like a symbolic thing?
Do you want to
find out?
Do you want to roll history to see if you know about this sword?
Sure, I got
Go for
history, so why not?
Can anyone assist? I cannot.
That's +4.
Like black steel? Doesn't ring a bell. Certainly not any. You're certainly not. Yeah, not black tin. Certainly not any artifact of legend you're familiar with from anything you've read or any stories you've heard in the north.
Would we be able to discern if the sword is magical or not when we acquire it? Does anyone have that skill?
I'll have to sleep with it.
Yeah. No, I don't believe anyone has it. I think
Professor Thaddeus does.
Yeah, and he was going to teach it to Thea, but he
forgot to go back around.
Yeah, we'll steal the sword. We'll take it back to Moontip. We'll get Thaddeus to identify it, and then we'll bring it back.
And give us our magic license. Gosh darn it!
Yeah, we forgot to get that as well.
And we'll kill the hill giant all at the same time.
We'll split the party. That's always a good idea.
Well, I guess we should go meet our new friends downstairs.
All right, but as we all agreed, just be wary of them.
Yes.
So you all head downstairs, and Chance and Welgwyn are there. Chance is sort of like flipping cards around in his hand. They seem to be discussing something with each other when he approach.
Can I hold everyone back and do listen check?
Yeah, everyone would have to roll stealth. I'm assuming people got their armor on?
Yeah.
Yeah, also, I'm going to walk forward and just be like, Helm has chosen you.
Okay, so no stealth is happening.
Also,
Oh,
how crowded is the room?
There is no one else in the room at all.
Is there a bartender?
There is a bartender, yeah.
Okay.
Jiravi is there, tending bar.
I want to go up to the bartender. And kind of try to ask. So, our party was in town to do a little bit of shopping. You have to know a good place to acquire some diamonds, perhaps?
Oh, yes, precious gems are in,
Also platinum.
and platinum, plenty metals, whatever you need is good supply around here for sure. If you're looking for precious gems, your best bet's probably Song of the Metal.
Okay.
They make mostly jewelry and stuff around there, but, they also have, they inset gems and things like that. It probably has some rough stuff laying around if that's what you're looking for. I don't know why you would, but it's probably there, or he'd know how to get it. What else? It's just, you're looking for diamonds?
Yeah, diamonds and platinum.
Are you a jeweler?
Not exactly. I'm a healer.
A healer, you say? Never heard of anybody needing diamonds to heal with. Don't know what you're talking about. But, I don't know, if you need diamonds, Song of the Metal's the place to be for sure.
Thank you so much for the advice. What do you want for breakfast today?
Oh, grits, toast, eggs, some tubers again, potatoes, carrots, things like that. I've got, some bacon, some ham, sausages. Make some great sausages here.
I'll get some grits. Do you have any tea?
Yes, I think we've got some herbal tea. We get some from Moontip time to time, though it's been a little while.
Sounds good.
All right, coming up. She sort of takes
can you
orders.
tell
from
me
everybody.
where I can take some sharp arrow?
Take a sharp arrow. Don't know what you mean.
Find some arrows that may be more deadly than your normal fare.
Lots of smiths in town. I don't know if they make many arrows. Best bet for that's probably Moontip, but that's ways away up the road.
All they could assist me with were arrows that would fly further for less damage. I'm looking for something where I could take something heavy down, say a giant.
I mean, don't know anything about that. Gotta say, I'm sure some of the smiths are making tips, but full-on arrows, no fleshers in town, as far as I know.
Do you know? And then I asked the girls in Moontip who their supplier was, and they said, Corin?
Oh, yeah, he came through here on his way back and went straight back through to Thaura. I didn't really stop for long.
Oh, okay. Thank you for your help.
Yeah, no problem. Good luck. Takes your order for breakfast and
Eggs and sausage and bacon.
yells back into the back. Alec has been, I don't know, yelling at Chance and Welgwyn this whole time.
Yeah, just expressing that Helm has chosen them.
I still don't quite understand who this man is, but you seem to be willing to help us with our task, right?
I am not fond of stealing, but Helm has shown me that this is necessary.
Alright, but if you're coming with us, you're going to follow our lead. We've worked together before, and
You're not
you're
over here
new
right
to
now,
this
Cora.
group.
Yeah, I'll head over to them now.
Okay. So your party joins you behind you,
And
basically.
say that to them.
Yeah, well, that's up to you. Helm has chosen them.
I did. I know. You're all about the helm. You're giving your spiel. Helm has welcomed you into the fold. You have to come over and join Helm and me in this. Yeah, I know. I get it.
Well, you don't have to believe in Helm to do Helm's work.
I'll walk over and sit down and laugh and say, it's easier to just go along with them. But
at the end of the day, I guess we agree to your task.
Wonderful. Well, as you must hear from all of the raucous noise outside, that demonstration has begun, as it will be a great time for us to learn more of the Lacrimatus estate. Would you like to join us as we try to scout a little bit of our mark?
Alright.
So, outside, there are some people in the streets. Clearly lots of mine workers. They're all dressed in, their typical work attire. They're cleaned up, though, from yesterday, most of them. They still smell a bit of sweat and BO. And a lot of them are marching southeast down here. And you hear people yelling like, yeah, come on down to the hook. Let's go to the hook. It's where it starts. No children at all. You don't see any children. They've all sort of been kept away from this. But you do see humanoids of sort of every race and gender moving together. They're headed to the southeast. Some of them notice Cora, like, power to the workers! Friends and family!
Power to the workers!
Power to the workers! And they shout, and, like, some of them have drums, they're beating their little drums.
So we kind of join in with the noisy set and start walking down.
I'll turn to Chance and I'll say, I guess we're following your lead.
At this point, blend with the crowd, shout with your heart aplenty. For the workers!
For the workers!
For the workers! So you all make your way down this sort of procession here to the end of the path where it widens back out into the large road. And you gather that this place is sort of known as the Hook, which is where the road turns into Brimshire. And Chance and Welgwyn sort of inform you also that, like, this road through the center of town is known as the Rock Rift Thoroughfare. And the thoroughfare continues about 3 or 4 miles, and it ends at the Lacrimatus estate. It, like, runs straight into it. And beyond that, to the northwest, are the Lacry mines. They have 2, I can't think of the name, not burrows. Bores? They have 2 bores into the mountains. One here and one here. And you've heard of a new bore opening further to the west as well. That is not part of the Lacry mines.
I wonder if they disturbed giants when they were born.
So there are all these workers gathered. They gather up into this huge mass. They give you all sort of strange looks, as you don't really look like them. You're clearly not mine workers, but if you're cheering with them and stuff, they'll gladly, accept your presence there. They try to stay away from Trogdor a little bit, and you notice them giving a little bit of wide berth to Lost as well, but they're happy to be right next to Chance and Welgwyn. They've known him for a couple of days now. They're all beating drums, and it seems very joyous for, like, a work demonstration. Most of you have no idea what a work demonstration even is. Like, never heard of this. It's very strange. And go ahead.
Can I grab one of them and ask, are you celebrating the workers today? Is this a party for the workers?
Well, it's a bit of a celebration of the workers, and more so it's just, to make ourselves heard. We're all taking the day off today, not working the mines, and, we need to let these fucking bastard nobles know that we're not putting up with their shit anymore. We've got demands. They need to be met. They need to be met soon, or else, we'll kick them out. Hopefully it won't come to violence, but some of us have been talking like that.
There's another mine that just opened up, right? Why don't you all just go work there?
Yeah. I mean, there's a bit of a contention about whether or not we should. It's a bit strange, really. That mine, it seems a bit safer for whatever reason. Recently in the Lackery mines, I don't know if you've heard, been a couple demon encounters in there. No one's died yet, but
demon encounters.
It's gotten close. Yeah, we've seen a few creatures who wish we really hadn't. The new mines, people are saying, are safe, but they're not under, they're not controlled by the Lackery, and we're just not really sure it's the right time to leave yet. We're hoping we can convince the Lackery to give us better wages and supply our tools again.
Can you tell me about these demons?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're called, just horrible creatures. Attacked some mine workers recently, in the Lackery mines specifically. It hasn't been too bad yet, but, we've had to station a couple of the town guard down there to keep the workers safe while they work.
What did they look like?
I mean, there's some kind of, humanoid ones. There's one that's like a little lizard man, almost. With sort of scaly face and horrible fangs. That's what people say, anyway. I never seen any of them.
We want to pursue these people, but it would help us if your town could supply us with weapons or...
Oh, we're stretched far enough as it is. I mean, you could talk to the smiths, but I don't know if anyone's got anything to spare recently. The smiths do, they export most of their work out to Moontip and back to Thaura. Lots of fine smiths in town, but...
Hey, Chance, this is your charisma score up. I mean, you know these people. You've been here longer. Perhaps you could talk to them.
I'd love to give it a try. I always seem to have a flair with locals. So, if you were to tell us a little bit more about the mines and the recent things, I feel you've not fully said it all here.
Well, I mean, I only know what I heard. I heard it's not that safe. I know the Lackery don't spend any extra penny on us to make sure we're safe. They've thrown a couple of townsguard in there, that they control, of course, and they help a little bit, but not nearly as much as we need. People have been injured, and the problem is not getting better. They clearly don't care about getting to the heart of it. As for the new boar, that's Haldar's camp. He's sort of rallied the workers there. They're forming some sort of, I don't know what. It's not owned by anybody. They just work together and made the boar themselves with blasting powder from, the locals. They make their own powder. They drill the boar themselves. They haven't gotten anything spectacular out of there yet, but they're likely to hit an iron mine soon, or an iron vein soon enough.
And now I ask him if that's all the information he has, while slipping him 5 gold.
Okay, this is a woman, by the way.
It's
hard for me to do a female voice. So she takes. Oh, thank you. I'll put it towards the workers' fund, of course. Yeah, I mean, that's more or less all I know about the Lackery mines, but there's stories about Haldar. This man came out of nowhere. I think he's Iseline's son, but she was barren for years. Tried to have children, never could. So, no one knows who the father is. He's grown up real quick, too. He's only been alive 12, 15 years, maybe. He's a full man. Bit strange.
Yes.
Nothing?
I know nothing about human child raising. I am just a teenager.
Does he work in the mines, too?
Definitely seen Haldar in the mines, but he doesn't work there so much. He's kind of like a leader to those people, you know. He rallies them. He set the whole thing up and gets everyone together to work together, create the new boar.
And if we wanted to speak to him or his mother, where would we be able to find them?
Well, Iseline, I don't actually know where she lives. She's somewhere in town. I'm sure someone would be able to direct you to her. But Haldar, yeah, he doesn't make himself all that well known in public. Shows up every once in a while to make a speech or so. Otherwise, don't see him too much. You'd have to catch him maybe at one of those events. He'll likely be here today. He's supposed to be here today.
Where will he be today?
Leading the procession. I assume.
Have you heard tell of his sword?
Haldar has a sword.
Not the black stone sword.
That's not Haldar. That's Donatello.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
Not heard of him having a sword at all. He seems like a gentleman. Fierce rallying cries. Great champion of the workers, but doesn't seem violent to me.
Well, I'll turn to Thea
and ask, Thea, do you know anything that would make a child grow up so quickly? Maybe magic or creature
A
or
human
something?
child?
A human-seeming child, at least.
Do I? Do I know anything about that?
I would roll Arcana if you want to see if it's like magical.
Okay.
Or you could potentially, like, it depends on what you're trying to think about. If it's like history or religion.
I would think magical.
Okay. So like, what kind of magic would cause a person to grow up quickly?
Yeah, so that would be 19.
You've heard of spells that delay time and delay aging? Because that's usually what people are focused on. You've never heard of a spell that causes someone to grow up quickly. You know that there are like magically infused humans, but you don't know if this is that.
Do I know of any spell that would make a non-human appear as a human? Like race that features earlier, like a dragonborn or something, but appear as a human?
There are definitely spells that allow people to appear as other people. Yeah.
I don't know of any spells that would increase aging. I only know spells that delay it. I mean, honestly, that's what most people seem to want. But one could alter one's appearance to appear as a race that they are not. Perhaps if this child was not really a human child, but maybe a tiefling or a half-orc, they would reach maturity and then, a bit earlier, 14 or 15 years, and then perhaps they hid their appearance because of prejudices in the area.
Maybe, yeah.
Especially considering the demonic sightings.
Exactly, that's what I was wondering. Have you heard of any stories of, like, fairy or demonic or, children posing as human?
You could roll history for that if you want.
Okay. Okay.
You start to think.
I'm not proficient, but I'm +5, so.
You start to think about stories like that, and then suddenly you remember last night when you were drunk, and you like feel a retch come up in your throat, and then you forget what you were thinking about.
Well, I guess I'll turn to.
I forgot her name already.
Well,
was this who talking to us?
No, whoever I'm scared of.
Oh, there's just some woman like in front.
Yeah. I'll say thank you for the information.
Oh yeah, no problem. Enjoy the march.
You too.
The demonstration, as it were. So everyone is...
When she's out of earshot, I'll be like, that definitely sounds suspicious. I doubt he's a normal human man.
Indeed,
But
there's
his,
definitely something afoot, but what?
Yeah, what his motive for starting an uprising among the workers, I'm not sure. It seems like it's deserved from the way they were treated, but what would a demon gain, really?
I know not of demons.
The workers were telling me that these changes, things happened not too quickly after the first attack was happening in the mines. Maybe the royal family itself is the one to do with it all.
It's possible.
I mean, they chase everyone out of one mine and rally behind another.
Yeah.
We're
You hear a cry come up from the crowd. Yeah! He's there!
Oh.
Haldar! They're like cheering and pumping their fists in the air. Haldar! Like the drumming gets more intense. People put down their hacky sacks. You just hear from the front of the crowd, "For the workers!" And everyone's like, "For the workers!"
Are they getting closer to us?
You're amidst the crowd. Like there's
So, like,
a huge
but
crowd,
we-
hundreds of people.
Can we see Haldar?
No, you're sort of towards the middle of it. You don't really see him. You can move up towards the front if you want.
Let's get a closer look at this Haldar fellow.
Yeah.
A valuable ally.
So I'll go with Chance to take a gander at this Haldar guy.
Okay, as you're moving. Okay.
Yeah.
Narrative's going to. As you're moving up, you hear sort of like this booming voice giving a rousing speech about the plight of workers, the unfairness of the Lacrimatus family, how they own the mines simply by because no one has come to challenge them yet, and that it's just a legacy and they didn't work to earn it, they don't deserve it, and that the workers should own the mines. It was like, yeah! He briefly throws in that like the new boar shows that this is possible. Around that point, you make it to the front, and there's a fairly large figure, sort of cloaked. His hood is back. He has black, slicked hair back over his head. Rough-ish facial features, although his skin is like very smooth, looks almost untouched. But he has like very sharp facial features, and he's just wearing sort of normal clothing. He has a symbol, like a patch on his chest that's just like a fist. And you notice that a lot of people throughout the throughout the crowd also sort of have this symbol, and they're holding their hands up. So he's giving a speech.
So I want to yell "Sup, bro" in demonic at him.
Okay.
And see if he looks in my general direction.
I mean, he's giving a speech, and people are occasionally yelling things. You yell this like horrible guttural language, and everyone like turns to you for a moment, like around you, and they're like, "What? What are you doing?" Roll perception.
That's 16.
Okay, so when you yell, he definitely like glances at you, but a lot of people are looking at you in the crowd, so he just continues his speech. It's like, "And today we will show them the power we have." And everyone's like, "Yeah! Let us march!"
Our target. Can we see the target in all of it?
No.
Okay.
Everyone just looks like mine workers. and the march begins. Everyone's playing their drums, heading on up. Through the Rock Rift thoroughfare.
So, still, I'm gonna still talk in demonic. This time I'm gonna talk to Chance and go. What do you think? Do you think this guy's a demon?
Ooh. Can I roll for that? I don't know if I know. If I can check him. Can I?
Sure. I mean, so you talked to that woman.
Insight check him.
I was gonna
Insight check the speech. Sure, you can insight check the speech if you want.
Alright.
See if he's genuine or not.
Hey. 20. 0 for that. So.
Okay.
Yeah, 19.
You're kind of far away from him, and he's just giving a speech, so it's really hard to get a read on him. He may be genuine. He certainly gave the speech with passion. He clearly had prepared it. It was not really off the cuff. That's all you can really gauge.
I'm gonna return the phrase in demonic to Lost. No, I don't think so. Seems too nice.
Fair enough. Well then, shall we get back to the task at hand? Are we trying to find some sword?
Yes. We should follow the crowd as they move up to the estate. There we should see our target.
Not travel. Okay, so you just follow the crowd. There are people sort of dipping in and out. There's strangely joyous music being played. Typically, lots of drums and chants. People chant, slogans for the workers and stuff like that.
I say smoking strange herbs.
No one is smoking. No one is even drinking.
Not that kind of hippie fest. Got it.
And you march all the way past. You see some of the businesses along the Rock Rift thoroughfare. There are people sort of gathered outside to watch the demonstration, children and other townsfolk that don't seem like they necessarily work in the mine, but it's pretty clear that the mines are the lifeblood of this town, and everyone is out more or less to see what's going on. Everyone knew of this demonstration ahead of time. Some of the businesses sort of cheer their support. Other ones, the business owners just kind of watch as they walk by. And eventually you make it up to the Lacrimatus estate, this towering building with red tile roofs. Looks very unlike most of the houses in the rest of town. You would guess that there's some sprawling garden around the outside, which is completely contrasted by the dusty, rocky terrain of the rest of the town. They have a large chimney made of stone, and you can tell there are many, not paintings. It's a sort of freshly painted house as well. And out in front of it, there are some people. Oh, I need to get up their thing.
Punch him in the face.
So the procession makes its way there with Haldar up front. And as they arrive at the steps, you see a human male, about 5.5 feet tall, medium-length black hair, green eyes, and a medium build. He's wearing very expensive clothing and jewelry, and he has a sword on his hip that he is resting his hand on the pommel of. Chansa and Welwyn, you recognize him as Donatello Demetrius Lacrimatus. And he's sort of just standing there with his hand on his hip and one hand on the pommel of his sword. He's like waiting for the procession to come and stop. Sort of next to, but behind him, there's another human, female this time, just slightly shorter, with long black hair, green eyes, and a thin, very angular build. She has sort of a similar extravagance about her dress, but you don't see any sign of weapons on her, and she has a large coat as well, black fur coat. She's just sort of standing in the background. You can see there's makeup on her face. Both of these people are extremely presentable. And as the crowd sort of reaches this point, there are also guards flanking them. There's several guards flanking them on either side. As the procession reaches them, the man holds his hand up and says, "My people! I'm willing to listen. I know that it has been difficult lately in the mines. And rest assured, we are working to solve whatever problems you may have." Everyone's like, "Yeah, whatever."
Power to the people.
Power to the workers! They're all shouting. It's like, "Rest assured that I have all of your best interests at heart. The Lacrimatus family has owned these mines for nearly a century now. We've provided you with a lifeblood in this town. We've built the roads. We've built many of your houses. And though times may be difficult now and again, we will keep peace and stability here so that you can grow and raise your families in safety."
About all the recent deaths.
You're sort of like egging on the crowd. Like, "Yeah, what about the demons?" Haldar still is just standing at the front of the procession, just like face to face with these guys. "We've heard there have been problems recently with some sort of monstrosities in the mines. We have not determined the source of them yet, but we are working on it. And we will rest assured that we care about your safety in the mines, and we will get to the bottom of this as soon as possible, and not another one of my workers will be harmed."
Big words. Let's see you put yourself where your words are.
He looks over to you and sees your whole party and says, "Perhaps you would like to volunteer to rescue these people from whatever horrors are in the mountains here. I have pay for you if you can ensure the safety of my workers." Everyone's kind of looking at you now.
Only if you include your sword in the payment.
He frowns at you.
Little halfling. Such a joker.
Like, "I'm willing to pay for good work." Haldar says, "Yeah, right."
I mean, we don't want to see these people continue to be tormented by demons.
Like, "Yeah, what are you doing about the demons?" It's like, "Now, my fine folk, rest assured we have agents working on this right now. And, as I said, I am willing to entertain outside help, as it seems we may have here."
Indeed. So put your valuables where your mouth is and prove it to these people. Make a vow here on your sword and give it to us so that we can free these people. Show your worth.
"Oh, we can talk in private after this is over, but I'm sure we can draft some contract to make this quite worth your while. As once again,
I'm sure
the safety of my workers is a top priority for me," Haldar says. "Yeah, well, if you're gonna stop making them buy their own tools. He's like, now Haldar, that is something I have been meaning to talk to you about. Your workers have taken tools from my mine, and I had no recourse but to force my people to buy their own tools to prevent losses to our enterprise here. If
you talk a big talk, but prove it now. Prove your worth to these.
He says,
here.
we'll deal with you later,
Making
halfling.
Excuses.
He's kind of ignoring you at this point, just talking to Haldar.
Oh.
He says,
Come on, I can get the crowd behind
the
me.
crowd's kind of listening to this conversation, more or less. Like, hang on.
Oh, okay.
Your people have taken tools from our boars, and you wouldn't have even created that boar if it weren't for the tools your people had stolen. It's like, or just taking back what they had already earned. You don't pay them enough. They came to me, and they said they want to start a new mine on their own. I told them I knew where the veins were, and I do. We've hit one today. Just this morning, and everyone cheers, like, yeah. They're like, why shouldn't we go work for Haldar? It's like, I offer fair pay and a say in all management decisions. Yeah. It's like, what can you offer them, Donatello? Anyone doing anything at this point?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe turn to my friends and go, do you guys want to clear out these mines?
It could be beneficial to seem of assistance to him and then, avoid suspicion when we want to look inside his house.
Exactly. It's a way in
his home afterwards as a token of his appreciation, and just let us come hang out in his house for a little while.
That's what I was thinking
Quite.
too.
Yeah, it works for me.
You don't want to snatch and grab right now. Pass without a trace. I have a huge stealth. Just pass without a trace.
You're kind of just out in the open. There's nowhere really to... You could hide amongst the crowd, but you think that getting to Donatello without anyone seeing you would be virtually impossible.
Can Cora see anything from where she's standing? And
You guys are up towards the front now. You're sort of like just behind Haldar, so Cora through legs. Cora and Alec.
No, I'm on
And
Meredith's
Walgren.
back. We've established you can figure it out.
Is that true?
We're in crowded scenes.
Okay. So Haldar and Donatello are still just like having it out at each other. Donatello just keeps assuring everyone that he's working on it. Haldar is like, well, it's not good enough. I'm taking my people to my mines, where there's freedom for the workers and power for the workers. And everyone's like, yeah! He's like, and we need more help, so any who want to join us can join us now. Throw down your loyalty to these ancient, wealthy nobles and take your life into your own hands. A couple of people are like, yeah. And he heads off with a small procession following him.
Suspicious man.
Yeah.
As they head off, I'll
Haldar.
turn the others and say,
I mean, we're like not really. Are we within earshot of everybody?
Yeah, you're in the middle of a crowd, basically.
Okay, I'll save it
then.
can we huddle up?
You can like move away from the crowd, and
Yeah.
after Haldar leaves, Donatello's like, you lot. You seem fine people. Can I interest you in this contract?
To clear out the mines, you said.
Yes, well, clear them out, whatever, make them safe. There are demons recently.
What's
bad for business.
Are in the line.
There haven't been too many yet, but I think, what was it? And he gestures over his shoulder to the woman behind him. She sort of comes up and whispers in his ear. It's like, yes, I believe it was a quasit. Is that right? Yes. and some manes. Seem like lesser demons from my research. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure, especially for the right price.
Do I believe them that that's all they've seen in the mine so far?
Roll, what's it called? Insight. This has been bad for business lately. We're trying to expand.
13.
Yeah, you absolutely believe him.
Okay.
He's kind of a slick talker, too.
Yeah.
You get the sense that he could definitely, pour honey in your ear, no problem.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think? Do you want to go for it?
I still think we need to negotiate our terms.
Of course.
Ah, yes, of course. I wouldn't have it any other way. We could draft a fair contract. I think a price of 2,000 gold once we can be assured that there are no more demons left in the mine.
We'll also require a party in our honor. Hosted somewhere... fancy? Somewhere nice.
I suppose we could set something up.
Can bill it as a workers' appreciation event.
Yes.
The mines.
We own a tavern here in town, you see. The Festuatum Lacquery. It's a very fine establishment. Sure, we could do something for you there.
If you'd like to endear the workers to you, it might be better to do it somewhere a bit more personal.
Yeah, something much more spacious. Close to where we currently are?
I'm not quite sure.
Party.
Oh, like the Lacquery estate.
Brilliant idea, Nerida.
I assure you, the trappings of the Festuatum are of the highest caliber. They're very fine, and we can be as personal as you like. That I own the establishment. I can make sure no one else is there if you like.
But I think the gesture to the workers...
Is this for the party, or is this for the, to negotiate this contract? I'm a bit confused.
It's one of the terms of the contract.
One of the terms is to have a party. We'll have it at the Festuatum. It'll be lovely. All of the nobles of the town will be there.
We'd like to include the workers as well.
Can't see why. You folk don't seem the working type. If you want, I'm sure we could convince Jirashi to host something. Perhaps do something here, in the front of the estate.
That sounds good.
Yes.
It's been so long since I've been inside of one of these beautiful old estates. I grew up in a lovely estate of my own. Maybe we can convince you to let us just look at the beautiful architecture inside for the party. It seems like just a wonderful place to celebrate.
And what is your name?
My name is Welquin Woodbarrel.
Woodbarrel. I think I've heard of you.
You may have known my father, Quaver.
He sort of, the woman once again comes up to him and just kind of whispers in his ear a bit. It's like, yes. The Woodburrows. Quaver, was it?
Yeah.
Yes, in Thaura.
Yes, that's correct.
Where has he been these days? I haven't seen him or heard from him in quite some time.
I'm afraid my father's story is fairly sad. He was cheated when we were much younger, and he didn't take it very well. I've been without him for, many, many years now.
Oh, is that so?
You understand, I feel a certain fondness towards, the trappings that I grew up with and the finer things, and I don't want to ask too much, but it would just, it would really mean so much to feel like I was back in one of the old parties of my childhood again. I hope you understand.
Roll persuasion.
Yeah, 14. Yeah.
14 plus? +8. Well, I could have you shown around the estate briefly, but you see, we don't let many inside. It's a very personal place for us. Been in our family for generations. We're not much in showing it off. Usually we use the festuatum for such events. Only a select few get into our estate at all. Would you like the tour now? We can get it done relatively quickly, I believe. Would you like the tour now?
I don't know about the others, but I think I'd probably prefer to have a rest and dress in more appropriate attire before
yes.
doing something.
It's interesting, you wear armor on the streets. I mean, I pegged you for some sort of adventuring troupe. I've not heard of you before. There are a few mercenary bands around, of course.
Heroes of Moontip.
Heroes, you say?
Yes, we helped rid them of their undead problem.
I don't know if you've heard of the trouble they had.
I haven't heard much from Moontip. Not many noble families stay there. It's not really my circle, you see.
Sorry. Perhaps at the party our wonderful musician Cora could sing a song of our exploits. Catch you up a little bit.
She's quite talented.
How quaint, of course. I would be enthralled, I'm sure.
One last turn I'd
like to add. Could we also have room and board at your establishment for the duration of the contract?
Yes, of course. Yes. We'll see to it. Oh, again, would you like to see the estate now? We can talk terms as we walk.
Sure. Let us proceed to the estate.
All right. Come with me. The guards, close in around you all and usher you back up to the estate. The woman is out in front, and she breaks off just as you get inside the gate. The guards also stay behind at the front gate of the estate. It's a lavish estate for the town. There are fine gardens out front that he walks you through, shows off some of the plants, tells you he got them from Moontip or far away to the north, or sometimes far away to the east. He brings you inside, walks you through the main hallway, talks about a few art pieces of ancestors and things like that. Points out the Lacrimatus family tree that's on the wall at one point. Brings you through several larger rooms, parlors, studies, living rooms, things like that.
Is there anything that stands out as an easy entrance?
I would say roll perception. It's going to be like a dual purpose roll.
Okay. And I'm +4.
You don't see any easy entrances. There are many windows on the outside, though all of them are either sort of shut and latched or have no latch and don't appear to open in any meaningful way. You take notice as you go through. He briefly brings you through the kitchen, which is in the basement. He just sort of brings you down and says and here's the kitchen where our servants prepare meals. And you notice that there is a larder door that the servants move in and out of occasionally. He doesn't take you up to the second story at all. He just takes you around a few rooms on the first floor. And as he's doing so, he's discussing with you. So, is 2,000 gold seems generous to me. Do you think you'll be able to clear the minds of whatever demonic infestation plagues it, so that we can get back to work?
How much money are you losing a day with the mine closed?
Well, the mine isn't closed. There is a bit of unrest amongst the workers, and that is something that could definitely be cleared up if or would definitely, it hasn't been, no one's died yet. There have been only a few minor injuries.
But
so
what
far,
happens
we
if you
can
lose all of your workers to the other mine?
That is a concern, of course, but that is none of your concern. That is something we are dealing with.
Well, if we were to split our gold amongst each of our party members here, it does not seem to be quite the substantial sum we would all be looking for. Again, maybe something worth more value, maybe not gold, that you would have that we could exchange along with?
I'm not sure what you'd even be interested in. We have baubles and trinkets and artifacts from our family lineage, but nothing of use to any adventurers, certainly.
I don't know. The sword. You keep your hand on it everywhere we seem to go. That seems valuable to me.
Well, it is my sword, and I will keep it.
Is there nothing we could do to convince you to part ways with it if we were to succeed at clearing the mine?
No. There is not. Why are you so interested in my blade?
It's quite interesting. It has a name. It comes with you everywhere.
Oh, you've heard of it.
You can't go very far inside of Brimshire without hearing the Black Steel Blade.
Yes. Who have you been talking to?
Oh, I've been at many a tavern. My deck of cards lets me be quite the pair of ears everywhere I need to be.
Have you been to the Festuatum?
Yes, I believe I've made my way to there.
Well, regardless, the sword is off the table for any discussions. Can't see why you'd want it anyway. It is a personal heirloom. It's my gift to future generations. It has sentimental value, you see.
Well, since we can't convince you to part with anything else, maybe you can raise the fee a little bit. Maybe 3,000 gold?
Well, I don't see why. I mean, things are not that dire that we're willing to part with 3,000 gold that would pay my workers for half a year.
That is if you still have workers.
Rest assured, the mines are going nowhere. The workers are going nowhere. A year from now, we will be in business and 1 year richer. We may have expanded to neighboring towns as well.
I mean looks like they're going to that other mine.
For the moment.
It seems like the monster unrest is only the first step of your problems. You will also have to win the hearts and minds of people, which we have already done. We're able to convince them. After all, they seem to like me. You need our help.
I don't believe that we do.
I mean,
But I appreciate the concern.
You can just go.
Yes, fine. Be off. I've had quite enough of you as it is, I suppose. I'll see you out. He leads you to the front of the estate.
I mean, if a small town like Moontip can come with 1,000 gold for a fee, it seems a little embarrassing that such a rich town like this can't even protect their workers.
You bore me. I have plenty of other more important things to do with my vast fortune that you apparently are completely ignorant of. He's like, got the gate of the estate open and is waiting for you all to leave. Cross his hands.
And make one more persuasion roll.
I mean, I sort of tried, but it seems like it's not going to work. I sort of tried, but it seems like it's not going to work, and I don't even know persuasion, so...
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
if you can
chance
give a
does.
convincing enough, you can make a convincing enough argument for it.
Well,
Chance, do you have anything else you want to say to this guy?
maybe some of my companions here have been a little bit rough, but I'm sure that you understand. considerable difficulty, and, we would truly love to help you with... Okay, is it possible for maybe us to work out another...
Roll persuasion.
Nine plus 8, so 17.
17. You have taken quite a bit of my very valuable time. I will give you 1,800 gold if you agree to clear the mines. Take it or leave it. This is your last chance.
Let me start.
And the party.
And a party.
Okay.
Very well.
If his terms are only going to get smaller, I guess we have to go with these things.
Very well. I will draft a contract. I'll bring it to you tonight. Where are you staying?
We're staying at your establishment.
You're staying at the Fastuatum.
That was part of the deal.
Oh yes, of course. I will make sure that they know it's the Fastuatum to be expecting you. Yes, and I will bring the contract over tonight. You could sign it, and I assume you'll get right to work in the morning. I expect this to be done within the week. Does that sound agreeable to you?
It will take as long as it takes.
Well, if it
We
takes...
will update you if the situation changes, but we'll try to keep it within a week.
See that you do. Do you have any other I believe we are...
To go faster.
I believe our business is concluded. See you tonight at the Fastuatum. Like, ushers you out of the
I
gate.
don't say goodbye or anything.
He ushers you out of the gate and closes it behind you. Heads back into the estate.
I make rude hang gestures at his back. So, anybody want to do some shopping or other exploring while we're in town?
What time is it?
So the demonstration took some time. It is like 1 o'clock. They basically reached the end of the thoroughfare by roughly noon. So it's a bit afternoon at this point.
Well, I'd like to go to
the jewelry store. I can't remember the name, but my character does probably.
It's Song of the Metal.
Okay.
I'll accompany Nerida.
I guess I'll go too.
Anybody else?
I'm just gonna continue to drink. Is there what was it? The blasting hole? Was that was the?
There's Big Barrel, and there's the blasting hole, and there's Vagrant at Sea.
Okay.
For pubs.
I want to go to the blasting hole.
I figured you might. Okay, let's deal with people going to Song of Metal first. Alec, are you going anywhere with anybody, or?
You want to set up your, what is it, helm booth? Talk
do
to
you want
people
to buy
about helms for the
diamonds
day?
with us, fellow clericmen?
I don't have enough money to go shopping at a fancy jewelry store anyways.
Okay, so we'll go to Song of the Metal first. And who's going? It's Thea, Nerida, Cora.
Yep.
I think me and Weldwin are gonna follow Lost.
Okay, to the blasting hole. Alec, are you gonna go to Song of the Metal, the jewelry store?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So let's change the music a little bit. That's perfect shopping music. Okay. Leaving the dust of the outdoors behind you, you enter a room immaculate. Throughout the shop are display cases. Some contain tools, others rings, pendants, bracelets, and brooches of silver, gold, and platinum. At the head of the store, in simple clothes, is a dwarf. He is laboring over a silver ring in a vise with tools foreign to all of you. Extending from one of his eyes is a metal and wooden cylinder of some sort, which he seems to be looking through as he works, shaping the metal and carving fine details. Hearing the door, he takes a moment to bow. "I'll be with you in a moment."
Thank you, sir.
Aye. Just continues laboring over his tools.
Looking around, do I see anything that looks magical?
Things don't really look magical. You see quite a bit of jewelry. Nothing is labeled at all.
Okay.
There's a bunch of jewelry. There's like rings that are silver, platinum, gold, some copper, some simpler ones.
Anything with runes written on it?
Yeah, plenty of them have what appear to be dwarven runes that I think you don't recognize if you don't speak or read dwarf.
I do.
No.
Okay. You recognize them. They just say things like wealth and like long life, things like that.
I'm gonna tell Cora, that one means badass. This one right here means strong woman.
You know if they give any actual benefits, or are they just dwarven protection things?
I've noticed in the Southlands, or it's said in the dwarf holds where I come from, that we inscribe these dwarven runes on here, and people wear them as fashion icons, and they don't even know what the words mean. It's the strangest thing.
I could see how one taking a native tongue and using it while they don't know what it means would change the wording quite a bit.
So while we're waiting, I'll turn to Oleg and say,
So, how many diamonds would we like to buy? I could afford one out of my own money, or do we want to kind of get some for the party?
Well, gold is subject to inflation, so we need to convert it all into material goods. Oh, wait, what?
How much does a diamond cost?
300 gold diamond will revive somebody from the dead one time, and then
be used.
Yeah, it's 300 gold worth of
expended.
diamonds, basically.
It might be prudent to get at least one, with the party's gold, just so that you're not out your own personal money for, our mission.
And I need some
How much is
platinum
left
rings.
in 40 gold? And I'd like them to repair my manacles with lead.
It might be a blacksmith that could do that in town.
I can do that. I'm a smith.
Okay,
you
well
ask
then we
me to
need
do
to
that?
obtain some lead.
Hey, have you found anything that catches your
Hey,
interest?
Manacle.
Hey, fine people.
You sell raw materials here.
Yes, I have a bit. What are you looking for?
I need enough platinum to make 2 good rings.
Of course I have that.
Worth 50 gold piece each. So however much that costs.
Yeah, of course. No problem. Anything else? He puts these small platinum bars. You're gonna repair them with just lead. They fall right apart.
Well, lead lining, perhaps something stronger to keep them together from all matter magical and monstrous beasts and humanoids.
Well, I can't guarantee anything like that, but I can certainly give you what you need to repair them.
Yes, well, the lead lining and what I need to repair them will do for now.
Alright, I'd say it's... Well, you want me to repair them for you, or are you gonna repair them yourself?
Well, apparently my dwarf friend here says he believes he's up to the task, so I'm going to trust him on this.
Of course. It'll be probably 30 gold in materials.
For 2.
For 2, yes.
Okay.
There's 2 manacles?
Yeah. The one we got off of him and the one we found on the body.
What bodies?
And the key.
There was Haldar had manacles on him, and he found manacles at the campsite as well.
Why do you want to repair these inmates?
I don't know. I have an extra thing I can do. We can decide to, trap people if we think they're evil or not have to kill them. And I have, if I'm going to be making manacles, I might as well make them magically resistant.
Not interested in any jewelry I got. There's plenty of fine pieces around the shop.
Enchanted jewelry?
No, of course not.
We do need a diamond, a large diamond.
A single large diamond. The stuff comes out of the mines, but, one large diamond. How big, you say?
Worth approximately 300 gold pieces. I don't know how big that is.
So for the spell components, it doesn't have to be a single diamond. It's just 300 gold worth of diamonds.
Oh, you know what? Give me just a bulk bean of 300 gold diamonds, please.
You want them cut or rough?
Doesn't matter. Does it matter?
Rough. They'll be less expensive.
Oh, rough. Yeah.
Well, it's 300 gold
Well,
worth
yeah, 300
either
gold
way.
Either way. Cut, because then there'll be less diamonds.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
It doesn't really matter. We'll say the spell requires either, and so it's like, it'd be easier for me to give you rough if that's all right.
Rough's all right.
All right. Well, he's like writing a list down as you talk to him about this.
I'd like a small charm. Just a little disc, and I want it to have words on it. Would that be very expensive?
This is a custom piece.
Mm-hmm.
What metal were you thinking?
Oh, something inexpensive. Maybe silver.
Silver's a fine choice.
How about tin? Tin's rather inexpensive.
We don't make tin here.
You got tin all around you. I see tin all over the shop.
Oh, sometimes
tin all over the shop.
Hit his head when he was young. He doesn't recognize his metals as well as he should.
Aye. Many dwarves hit their head as young as rite of passage, some would say, but this one seems to have hit it a little too hard.
I get offended by that. In game, I get offended by that. Not in game, obviously.
Anyway, a disc, you say.
Name and stomp out.
What do you want inscribed? How big do you want this disc? It's a strange request, I must say, but I don't care.
Maybe about 1.5 inches diameter.
Okay.
And I want it to say on one side, mostly harmless, and on the other side, I want it to say Trogdor.
Okay.
And then I want to put it on a very small chain.
I see, like a pendant.
Like a small necklace for a
little
child.
necklace, okay.
Yeah.
Not too small, though.
Not too small.
You want a clasp or just a chain?
Just a chain. I can slip it over his head.
Alright. That'll probably be about 5 gold. For the custom work, an extra 2, so 7 total.
Could you do 6?
Roll persuasion.
So the heroes of Moontip, that doesn't hold any weight here, does it?
Not so much. Oh man, I am not persuasive. And then, hold on. -1. 4.
It's like, now I have fine craftswork here. You're lucky enough I'm giving you a custom piece, such a strange piece, such a strange person. You know what? 8 gold.
Ouch.
Alright, fine.
You jerk, don't you know who we are?
Trying to cut my prices. It's not right. Alright. Disc. Trogdor. How do you spell it?
Trogdor.
What language do you want this in?
Elvish, please.
Okay. Both sides, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Elvish and Common, so that
Okay.
The common folk
The
can read
name
it.
in Elvish and mostly harmless in common.
Okay. So that's 300 gold of rough diamonds. 8 gold for the necklace. And what was the other thing? The manacles. Platinum. 50 gold worth of platinum.
Well, it's two platinum rings worth 50.
Oh, you need rings.
Well, I want to make them, so it's worth platinum.
You want to make them, okay.
So however much.
I've got some lovely platinum rings here for you.
It'll mean more to me if I make them myself.
That's understandable. Maybe you weren't dropped as hard as I thought. Man after my own heart.
I doubt it.
Okay, 50 gold worth of platinum. He pulls out like 2 small brick-like shapes of platinum that look roughly the size of rings that you think you could mold. So 50 gold from Alik, 300 from Nerida.
Yeah.
And
That's party gold.
300 from party.
And 8 gold from Thea. 300 from party. Okay.
Yeah.
And how much for my manacles?
Just for the materials. Did I say 30?
Yeah.
I think you said 30. Yeah.
Yeah, 30.
That's a lot.
Well, it's a lot of material. What kind of material do you want for them? Like lead and...
I don't know, whatever is the best for them.
Lead and steel. The lead is like the weird one. Like no one really refines lead. It's usually used for doorstops or just nothing, like paperweights and stuff.
Blocks of lead or a silver for a 1 pound block of lead.
Fair enough. All right. 5 gold.
Okay.
All right. Well, since it's all raw materials, I have it all right here. Just give me a moment. He goes into the back room. You hear some, like, rustling around. He comes back out with all the materials. And you exchange your money. He writes in his ledgers. Anything else you be needing today?
Nope.
I think that's all. Thank you, Fine Smith.
All right. I'll get back to my work then. He goes back to work. He puts the piece back in his eye and is carefully... he's etching out the necklace for Thea. He does it really quickly. Like, he has a disc already formed, and he etches it out, puts it on a necklace, and gives it to you.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Alright. Sorry about that. Okay. So you guys leave the store. During this time, Lost, Welgwyn, and Chance, I think, are the only ones going to the blasting hole. Let's see. So after the sort of demonstration died out a little bit, didn't die out a ton, not everybody left. There was still, playing music and chanting and talking in front of the estate. It's sort of like an ongoing demonstration. But there are still a lot of people who went to pubs as they're taking the day off. The raucous crowds cheering and jeering from within the blasting hole can be heard from well outside its doors. After pressing past patrons in the entryway, you smell a burnt, acrid scent hiding deep underneath the sweat of miners who have been partying it up all day with plenty of ale. The tables overflow with people of many races, genders, and states of inebriation. The barkeeps, despite their immense skill, can barely keep up with the flurry of drink orders. Groups shout raunchy jokes and friendly insults to each other, laughing and drinking and living loudly. It's on you.
I would want to try and carve out a space for us to have like a table, or at least lean into somebody to make room for us near the bar.
Okay. So I'm going to say you find a table with just 3 chairs. It's all you can manage to find. And you have to kind of like sweep some spilled ale off the top of the table. And everyone's laughing and drinking all around you.
Well, now that we've established ourselves at the table here, Lost, you seem to be quite the man of, the drinking type. You can hold your own well, no?
I don't like being in towns. Makes me uncomfortable. The only thing that eases it is a good, strong drink.
Ah, perfect. Let us try to make a little game of this then, did you say? See if we can't get some of the locals to challenge you to drinking. We take them onto the table with a little bit of gold ourselves. Line our pockets for the night and have free drinks?
Well, you said free drinks, so I guess I'm in.
Glenn, can I interest you?
Oh, you know, I think I could use around a drinking contest.
Perfect start to the evening.
Are you implying we cheat?
You're not there, I don't think.
Oh, I thought I was there.
Oh, you went shopping for jewelry. We went drinking.
Yeah.
Good, because I'm a goody two-shoes.
This is where my chaotic neutral starts to kick in, and I'm just like, there's drinks in it for me.
So yeah, I want to try and get like a crowd of people around. Like, what's this halfling challenge a tiefling? That's a fool to step to their drinking games. Who else thinks they could challenge the great tree of a man that stands before me?
Alright. Yeah, you definitely draw in a crowd. They're like, oh, it's a drinking competition, eh? Hey! What's going on over here? And this crowd sort of gathers around. You're buying drinks, presumably?
Yes, we should get a waitress or a bartender.
So, actually roll performance, Chance.
20.
Okay. So yeah, you have no problem drawing a huge crowd over. In fact, one of them comes over with like 2 huge pints of ale. And he's like, this'll start you off! And he slams them down on the table and everyone kind of laughs a bit.
Alright, now who thinks the halfling here will take the drinks? Bets on the halfling, everyone put him in.
Aye! Like, maybe half the crowd, a little bit more than half, is like, yeah, the halfling! So you're taking bets from people?
Of course.
Okay. So you collect, let's see. Yeah, you collect about 10 gold worth of bets total. For the halfling. Sort of tallied up.
Alright, we have the challengers. The bets are placed. Begin the drinking.
Oh, is anyone gonna bet on the tiefling? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that. How that works. Now we have the natural drinker. Who thinks he can take the smally?
Yeah! The devil's in him. He's got the drink. He'll drink the halfling under the table. They're like, let's see how many people are betting on Lost. Oh, a lot more people. 20 golden bets on Lost.
Now that I get all of the different, now that I have the 2 coin purses for Wellwin and Lost, before they start drinking, I lean into Lost and whisper to him, or I whisper to him that you've got to lose this, man.
Okay. How are you gonna do this sneakily?
Don't they both speak a language that not very many people speak?
It's true.
But if I'm communicating like that, that's not very stealthy, because like demonic is super not a subtle language.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, what are they doing? They're cheating. How do you want to communicate to Lost that he should lose?
As I'm putting the drinks down, I stare him in the face and mouth the words, "You have to lose."
In demonic, though?
Yes.
Okay. Roll sleight of hand. would say for this.
7.
Not good. 7. Lots of people see you mouthing these words. They're like, "Hey, what are you doing? Hey!" They start turning on you a bit.
I quickly... No, my friends. It wasn't any slight cheating. I was merely wishing him merely good luck in the challenge. Going for deception.
Okay, roll deception. That's
19.
better. Like, okay. Everyone seems to settle down a bit. Like, yeah, fine, whatever. Alright, so the drinking competition is underway. How's it gonna work? It's just like first to chug the beer?
Yeah, first to finish the bottle.
First to finish the pints that you have.
The pint, yes.
Alright. And Lost, you're gonna try to lose?
Yep.
Alright. Roll... I would say roll performance for Lost. Welgwyn, I assume you're just chugging as fast as you can. Welgwyn, roll Constitution. See how fast you can drink.
I have
You have plus 0.
I got a 10.
Plus 0.
13, yeah.
13 and...
Or 14, excuse me. 14.
14 and 10 for deception.
For
Or
performance.
for performance. So you make a go of it. You make it look like you're having a little trouble chugging the pint. Fortunately, Welgwyn is doing a pretty good job downing hers pretty quickly. And she slams it on the table just before you do, like moments before you do. And everyone's like, "Oh!"
Today we've seen a rare sight. Such a person of small stature to take down the giants of this world.
Ah! Someone's like, "Cheers for the halfling!"
Kind of guy.
Oh, they should go longer then. Yeah, have them drink longer.
But we can't merely do ale over and over, friends. Shall we move to a stronger spirit?
So, at this point, the male human who was at the bar, was tending a bar, short black hair, tan skin, brown eyes, very fit build. He comes over, like, spinning some bottles around in his hand. Everyone's like, "Oh, Finvide." He's, like, spinning these bottles, and he deftly, like, throws these shot glasses, like, one to each of you, and he's spinning the bottles, one in each hand, and he, like, pours shots, and then, he spins the bottles and sets them down. He's like, "I'll serve!" And everyone's like, "Yeah!" It's like, "Last one standing!"
Alright, we better do another round of bets then.
Okay. You get...
Start with the halfling.
Stamina's totally different, right? 15 gold for the halfling. Oh, and I'm gonna say you came out ahead,
Go to bed. Stay there.
you came out ahead like 10 gold total in the last round. 15 on each. Even split. But you take a small, like 5 gold or something off the top, right? Every time.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, even split on the bets.
Alright.
Like, let the drinking.
room.
I'll let you announce it, I guess.
No, sorry.
It's okay.
As we have it, lady, gentleman-ish thing, begin drinking.
Alright, roll Constitution. Both of you. We'll see who actually wins. 14 again?
Yep.
20.
Oh.
Ooh.
So, Lost downs it, no problem. Welgwyn downs it. You're starting to feel just a little loopy. And the bartender, Finvider, he twirls the bottles and pours again. Go ahead and roll con. Oh boy. Welgwyn is having a rough time of it.
17 for me.
Welgwyn, you down the next shot, and you feel a little dizzy as you slam the shot back on the table in front of you, and you look up and Lost is just stone cold staring at you, totally unfazed. And it takes you a second to, like, right yourself. This is hard stuff. Bartender again. Spins the bottles, pours. Roll con.
Nat 20.
Okay.
23.
Lost is no stranger to drink at all. He just picks up the shot. He, like, throws it. The glass doesn't even touch his lips. Just like, whoop, right down his throat. Slams it right back down on the table, staring you dead in the face. Would you roll again? 13?
Yeah.
You are starting to feel it. You're like, oh no, this was a big mistake. And you put your shot glass down and, like, drag it across the table gently before you let go. Twirls the bottles again. Pours shots one more time. Possibly. Oh, okay.
16 for me.
16. You both take shots. Welgwyn, you're just, like, holding your own. You're like, oh no, how much more can I take? Lost, you're totally fine. Totally unfazed. You're starting to, like, feel drunk, but you can still just, like, put the glass down perfectly normally. Spins the bottles, pours. Roll con. There you go. Okay, this time... This time, when you take the shot, you're starting to feel it. Like, you're starting to get used to the ale. You're really drunk. And you can, like, put the glass back on the table and slide it around. You sort of swerve a little bit, and it looks like you're going to fall off your chair. Everyone's like, oh! And then you right yourself, and you put your hands on your hips. You're like, I'm fine. You kind of, like, burp a bit. Lost, you're starting to feel it a little bit, though. You're like, oh, no. How long can I go? Spins the bottles, pours again.
2.
Oh, that was almost a 1. Okay. Woo, almost a 1. Okay, a 2. So, Lost, you, again, take the shot. You kind of, like, throw it back. You slam your glass down. You look over, and your opponent's gone. Like, what happened? Well, when you took the shot, like, as you were drinking it, you fell over backwards onto the floor. Like, slam your head against the floor. Yeah!
Giggling.
Yeah! I knew the tieflings had stamina, the devil's stamina. They're all shouting, like, yeah! You come out 5 gold ahead. Everyone sort of is like, yeah. Some people are coming up and, like, patting Lost on the back. Some people are, like, fanning Welgwyn's face. Like, are you okay? That was a lot. You kind of fell over there at the end. Eventually, you sort of wake up and you are just fucking hammered. Incredibly drunk. Lost, you're pretty drunk too, but you can, like, you know, navigate the bar a bit.
I think someone else should play against us. Can't do it anymore.
Excellent idea. Is there more from the crowd that would possibly want to take their fare? He already seems half under the weather.
Please, someone give me a water.
We're not there, are we?
No, you're not there. Okay. So yeah, someone brings you water from the bar. This large woman with blonde hair, shocking blue eyes comes over. She's like, I'll take you up on that. Good night, Thomas. It's like, yeah, I'll take you up on that. No problem. Everyone's kind of like, ooh. Oh, it's Negia. Everyone seems to know who this person is.
Ah, welcome, Negia. quite the formidable challenger for our lost. Do you think you have what it takes to win?
Oh yeah, no problem.
Well, then let's get down to business.
Okay, bartender, pour shots. Roll con. 5. Oof.
6. Oh.
So, 6 total, right? Yeah, you are starting to feel it pretty bad. You think another drink or two, you might go down. Nagia takes the drink. She looks pretty okay. She definitely looks like it hit her a bit. Spins the bottles again. Roll con again. Nagia downs her shot, totally fine. You down your shot, totally fine. You're getting back into the groove. You're gonna be okay. Roll again.
Come on, boss, come on.
17.
Again, you both down your shots, just cold-eyed stares at each other. Everyone's like, Nagia! Nagia! Oh, damn.
Shit. 10.
Nagia downs her shot. You are just barely hanging on. She's just stony-eyed, staring at you, smiling. She's got her hand on her hip. Bottle spin, one more shot. Ooh, that one hit her kind of hard.
10 again.
10 again. With that, you're taking your last shot. The room is spinning. Oh, you fall straight forward onto the table in front of you. It's like, yeah! Nagia! She takes her purse of 5 gold from you. So basically what you had just won in that previous round. So you're up 10 total for the day.
Well, with my champions already under the table and one pretty much sleeping already, I think it's time for us to retire.
Nagia takes the rest of the bottle from the bartender and brings it back to her table, and he's like... Some people are like fanning Lost's face.
Yeah.
Well,
return for the evening with our...
Okay. Call it a day there.
yeah, I guess I'll pick up, Win. She's a halfling. I'm drunk. That's fine. Well,
Both looks like stumbling around together. You're not sure who's holding who up. It just switches moment to moment. So you two stumble out of the bar, and Chance is just following you out, like shaking his head, like.
Always following the drunk.
I think that's a good place to call it for tonight.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, sorry. One more thing. As you're leaving the bar and you guys are leaving the shop, you hear, "Ah!" And people are running away from the northwest here. Ah! Like lots of just... Someone runs up to the Lacrimatus estate and is like hammering on the gates. You hear people saying like, they've come out of the mines! Get to shelter!
I don't know.
Great.
And that's where we'll leave it for tonight. Thanks everyone for playing. Thank you for our viewers. We actually had like 3 viewers this time. Not sure if one of that was you guys. Thank you for showing up. And we'll be here same time again next week, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, for the next episode of Tales from Tuatha. Woo! Bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.